Well, hello and welcome to Diego TV. This is a special edition. With us right now, One American No Party, Lisa, the mayor, and Mudpig. How are you guys doing?
Oh,
Hanging in
doing
there.
pretty.
Not too
Yeah,
crappy.
yeah, doing pretty good. We'll survive, you know.
This side of the dirt and working.
Yep,
Yeah, that's all we can ask for some days, right?
that's what you
Yeah,
got to
one day
do.
at a time.
Okay,
Oh,
so
good.
what else is new? I'll start with Lisa. Tell us what's new. How is the world event going?
What's new today is July 23rd. It's the worldwide movement to We Move as One. And I heard General Mike Flynn get on the line today, and as we stand as one with the Dutch farmers. So I've seen a lot of movement in Canada. We've had a few convoys through the United States. I've heard there's been a lot of really good turnout in a lot of different places, especially up in Michigan, Port Huron. They met up on the bridge. And then they had a lot of movement in Canada. I've seen a lot of videos with some really, really neat slow roll convoys. So I haven't had a chance to start looking around the world, but I've had some good positive feedback that there's been several countries that had a lot of turnout for those things. For us to start standing up against I can't say the T word, let's say overreach of governmental agencies, I guess. Hopefully I didn't strike us out already. But
No,
we all
no,
know
you
how
no,
much
you
they're
have
over,
not.
and we've got to stand up together, and they can't keep us all down. So that's the big news today. If you give me a minute, I'll give you a quick picture of my truck because it's flagged out and decked out today. If I can turn it,
Hold on, let me do this and
I don't know if you
this.
can see it. Can you see the truck?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we got 4 flags on there: the Netherlands, Canada, the United States, and I've got a Canadian American flag as well. So that's what we were asking everyone to do, so people would start. And I've had a few people ask questions today, and then while I was roaming around Midland, I actually had several semis, honk at me and in a nice fashion, like a supportive fashion, not you're in my way fashion.
Yeah, I was gonna say not to get out of my way. I got somewhere to be, huh?
Right, right. Yeah, I was sitting in a intersection before I was going to get on the highway, actually, where I was safe out of traffic, and I had several of them just like thumbs up. So I was pretty excited to see it.
But it's not like the song. Remember that one? Hey, bitch, get out of the way. Get out of the way.
Move, yeah.
That's
Oh, move.
terrible.
Not hey. That's right.
Move.
Move. Yeah, I couldn't
That's all
remember.
right. That's funny you would say that because my dad and I are really close. So sometimes I'd be in the hallways. He was trying to get by, and he would sing that song to me. Hey, bitch, move, get out of the way.
Yeah, now that's gonna be stuck in my head.
Sorry. Oh, you'd be driving along going, move, bitch.
The funny thing is my truck does have factory subs in it, so it does sound good in here.
uh,
Nice.
there they are, and no longer frozen.
Can't hear him?
Oh no, I think
Oh,
he's too
Ron.
far off the mic.
Yeah.
Ron is a little far off the mic, yeah. And now they're frozen again. So to, oh, there you go. They're moving again.
Well,
Really good at holding still.
Can you hear us?
Yes, we can.
Okay. What's going on, guys?
Not much. Just sitting here getting ready to drive tomorrow.
Where you driving to, my pig?
Oh, we're heading up to Pennsylvania, actually, just the other side of the state from where I'm at. So, yep, got to be up in the Altoona area at 7 a.m. on Monday morning, so got to get rolling that way tomorrow.
Yeah, I just came from there.
You guys came from there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a two-pronged trip, though, because the company that makes my APU is also in Altoona. I've been having some issues with it overheating, so yep, we're going to deliver load, and then I kind of surprised them when I told them, it's like, hey, while I'm up this way, I'm going to take tomorrow off and get my, not tomorrow, but Tuesday off and get my APU fixed. Yeah.
Well, Blinky said he'll be in a little bit.
No problem.
I'm gonna fix the plate. I'm gonna fix the plate.
Vern, what's going on?
Jamanja.
I was sitting around trying to stay cool.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. I was coming through, I think it was West Virginia. It was either West Virginia or Pennsylvania side of 70 today. And I come around this curve, and all you see is like the treetops literally doing this and leaves freaking blowing everywhere like no warning. I mean, just boom. I mean, just, and, you know, I've never pulled drive-in out of 12 years of driving. So I'm like hard on my brakes going, oh crap, I'm gonna blow over. But it wasn't too bad. But it managed to went through a single lane construction zone and managed to like blow over the fence into the road to where you had about 2 inches of clearance on each side of the truck trying to get through it. So
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's a lot of that around. They don't realize how wide we are.
I'm not used to pulling van. I'm used to getting out of there and like tying my stuff down and making it real tight to where I know it's not going to go anywhere. The other day I hauled some aluminum T-bars out of Baltimore, and by the time I got to my receiver in Ohio, my whole trailer was like leaning because as I was traveling down the road, it was slowly bouncing to the right, and I had nothing I could do about it. The trailer was still up, couldn't tie it down, couldn't stop it. I mean, I felt hopeless because I can't tie nothing down. It's not a freaking flatbed.
God, that looks good.
Yeah, I had an exciting flatbed experience actually coming back from Jacksonville. I had a flatbed that was hauling some kind of round steel, and at every corner he took, the steel would roll to one side of the trailer, then it'd roll the other side of the trailer.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I got on his CB, hollered at him, and he actually answered me. I was surprised he had a CB on, but yeah, I'm behind him, at the live stream going. I'm like, did you guys just see that stuff move?
Oh my God.
Yeah, so Kimberly actually clipped it, so it was actually funny because then we could go back and watch the clip of the steel rolling on the flatbed. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's definitely a different adventure for me. I just, there was no cushion left in my seat by the time I got back because going into the receiver, I had to make like 3 or 4 hard left turns, and the trailer was leaning to the right. So like as soon as you turn left, that trailer even leaned more to the right. And then I had to get on a scale where you kind of went up and around like that on a hill. So that was, tell you what, man, there was no cushion left in my seat. I'm not used to this drive-in stuff. I'm used to tying it down. But then I get back to the yard, and the guys that have hauled it before said, yeah, they usually put rubber under it. They didn't put nothing underneath it. I mean, there's nothing. They just put it in there and closed the door.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I mean, when I'm hauling the bigger glass, I'm hauling 2 racks. Each of those racks are 20,000 pounds. I mean, that's something on a flatbed. You'd put a lot of securement on them. Here, they just set them in here.
Yeah. Hope for the best, right?
Pretty much.
Oh, now every time I drive behind
Put
the
your,
truck,
like,
I'm gonna
load
think
box up
twice.
there.
Yeah.
Well,
it was.
that's one thing I was telling a buddy of mine. I said, all these 12 years, I always imagined, like, I didn't know what these dry vans haul. Like, I just imagined be like, cases of watermelon or, stuff that, uh, pretty tight in there. They got, these bags in between them to hold everything. I just kind of assumed that's, and I'd see how these guys drive. They're just, tearing around curves. I'm just like, whatever they got in there, it must be good. But then I start seeing what I'm hauling, and I'm going, thank God I didn't
Hmm.
know what they had in them trailers because I'd be freaking out with the way they drove.
Yeah.
Because all I did is after I got there, I saw because they loaded them too wide, so it didn't move much, couldn't move much, but it still moved enough to tip the trailer. And I'm going like, did I take any sharp curves too fast? I'm like, no, I took it pretty slow, specifically for that. And but then I started thinking about it. Every time you're in the right lane, it rides to the right a little bit, and all them
Yep. It
freaking
just
potholes coming from Baltimore all the way to Ohio. But it's nothing but pothole haven. So it just
yeah,
slowly rode over to the right, and I'm like, man, it's just I don't know. It's just
yeah. Yeah, you can have that with pallets of water. I used to have issues with those walking. They'll be nice and straight when you start. By the time you're done, the whole pallet's kind of like the bottom straight, and then the top slowly walked over, and it's like,
we'll
yeah,
start letting air out of my tires on the left hand side, or else driving the left lane more.
there you go. Just alternate. Drive 5 minutes in the right lane, 5 minutes in
There
the
you
left
yeah.
lane. That way, you
Or if
can
you
balance
or
it
like
out.
aim for the potholes. Aim for the potholes in the left lane. That way, when you get to the left lane, you hit the potholes. That way, it vibrates over to the other side.
Yeah, there you go. So it walks to the ditch, and then you just bounce it
Yeah,
back over where it needs to be, and it slowly walks back over, right? Oh goodness.
yeah, and those aluminum T bars, like you know what they are, right? You know what T bars are,
Hmm.
right?
Yep.
Well, they're so short that they got the guard on the side of the wall so far up, to prevent forklifts from damaging the wall. Well, they're just tall enough to where they're about 2 inches shorter than that, which means you can't even get a strap over the back end or over the top. Because God knows if that rail went all the way to the bottom, I'd be in there with straps strapping every damn one of them down. But you
Hmm.
can't even get a strap on it.
Yeah, it's interesting going from flatbedding. I know exactly what you're talking about because in flatbedding, I mean, we literally sometimes just mummify a load so we're safe, and going to a van where, oh, you just put a load lock in or just put a strap across, and yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
It's a completely different experience. Just think you got that
yeah.
thin sheet metal there keeping it from ending up in the ditch.
Well, what makes it worse for me is most of the routes that I'm doing is I'm like going across 68, going across 76, going down 75 or 81, where you got a lot of, curves, which is
Hmm.
worse.
Curves and mountains, next thing you know, you'll be
Yeah.
rolling out the back door, right?
Yeah, well, I put a strap on the back end whenever I can. Like this one here, like paper rolls. Um, and those things scare the crap out of me too because they're like six
Hmm.
foot tall.
Yep. And they're heavy. And they're a roll, so they're going to
Mhm.
roll.
Yeah, well, they're standing up on end, but I don't want them to fall over.
Oh, goodness. That'd be terrible. Yeah.
I picked up some paper out of Pratt Paper there in Ohio one time, and they actually had you put a couple straps in so that when they loaded it, if they didn't load it to where they were all touching from front to back, when they split it up, they'd throw a strap, then tighten it up in front so it doesn't slide forward, and then put a strap in the back. But this place at the port, all they did is took like four of them and banded them together once they got them set together. So if one's going to fall, four of them's going to fall, which I guess helps. But to me, it's still just it still ain't enough.
Yes. Sometimes they got to do that with the glass, too, depending on the load. They have to put a gap in so we can get our weights right so we're not heavy on the front or anything. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's when you hope the guy loading your trailer knows what he's doing.
yeah. So far, I haven't had a problem with that. They all knew kind of where to put it because God knows I don't. I mean, I don't know because I mean I'm used to putting it on a flatbed where do you want it? Well, I want the center right here, and you want to load these over here, and I want to load these over here, and whenever I'm done, I've got it exactly right. But
Well, it's pretty much the
here, I'm just
same
like,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah, you just got to remember you can't see it, but your turn signal is still close to the middle of the trailer. I'm sure you did that on a flatbed too. Kind of used your turn signal as your guide, you know? Yep.
Yep.
Same thing, just you can't see it. So you got to go like, yeah, I
Yeah.
want this to the front, that to the rear, you know? You can still do that, you know? Yeah.
Guys,
It's
if you're
definitely a
listening
different
to this
basic.
broadcast, I don't care which channel you're in, come on over to Diego TV, give us a like, share some love, and then you can always go back to the channel you were in.
So Diego, do you know the My Body, My Choice that's on the side of my truck? Have you seen it?
The My Body, My Choice what?
That's on the side of my truck.
I don't think so.
All right, let me show you. Because I had
All
somebody
right.
yell at me for it. But it was really interesting why he yelled at me. She's got My Body, My Choice.
It's
Got the-
backwards, but yeah, we can
ah.
see it.
Yeah, I know, I saw it.
Yeah.
It's clearly got the shot in there, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
So last week, just cruising down the road, I had a guy get on the radio and he starts yelling at me for having that on my truck. But before I could respond, he goes on this like 30-second spiel. And you know, when you're driving trucks, if you don't have a good radio, that 30 seconds is going to run out pretty quick, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
and the reason he was yelling at me was because he was saying that it's wrong to kill an unborn child.
Well, the guy.
I said,
but-
I go, can you like back off a little bit and come back and look at it again? And he starts just rambling on. Like we had like 3 different exchanges where he was just yelling at me. And I get mad. I'm like, look, dude, you're obviously on some kind of high horse where you think you know what you think you saw. I said, that's not what it is. If you pay attention, then I explained to him what's in the saying for what it represents. Rather than coming down off his high horse and stop yelling at me, he basically used the excuse of the reason he was yelling at me is because it's a leftist term and we shouldn't use it. I'm like, they don't freaking own the phrase. I was like, they don't own it. And I said, for one, what I'm using it for is literally the only legitimate term for that, not abortion, because it's not their body they're affecting. It was the craziest. Like, I figured I'd be getting yelled at by some crazy lunatic leftist. No, this is a guy that was telling me it was bad to murder unborn children. I'm like, I freaking agree with you. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, you know, here's the problem. In order to get something that's relatively subtle like that, oh, I'm hearing background
Yeah,
noise.
there's
No, I
a
got to turn my
lot of
truck on.
Ah,
There we go. In order to get something that's, I mean, it's not even subtle in my opinion, but that's reasonably subtle, you have to have some intelligence, and some people just don't have it. I'm sorry. You know, to me, I look at it the first time, even in reverse, and I got the message.
Yeah, like that's why I clearly made that red so it stands out. And you know, I even gave him the opportunity to come back and look at it again before he starts like continuing on his climb to the top of the high horse. You know, he wasn't having it. I mean, he wasn't. I finally I got so mad I started cussing at him. I'm like, just get the hell out of here because you're worthless to talk to. You're not willing to talk to people. You're on this high horse about yelling at people. So just have a good day. Bye bye. Leave.
yeah.
It was
Well,
like,
here's the
he was
problem.
over my head.
If you argue with an idiot, bystanders don't know the difference.
Yeah,
Literally,
that's
you will
true.
both sound like idiots.
That is true. That is true. You know, just to me, it took me for a trip. I'm just like,
well,
how do
you
I
know,
argue with somebody I agree with?
I get that because I come across that quite a bit. Sometimes it's hard to grasp the extent of stupidity some people are living in. It really is hard. Albert Einstein, I believe, said, was it Einstein? Yeah, I think he was the one that says there are only two things that are infinite: the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the universe. And it's
Yeah,
true.
that's a good point. It's a good point. I just hope that one of these days it'll click in his head that he didn't see what he thought he saw, and to me, it sounded like somebody that finally is getting into the idea of resisting some of the rhetoric that's going on, but he's like on day number one of doing it. Like he doesn't, like he,
like your grandpa who's on a new medication but doesn't have the doses right yet.
right? Yeah. Like
Oh, that's terrible.
He's not experienced.
Well, I'm sorry, but
But maybe he'll learn. But
It's
just,
kind
to
of
me, I'm
true.
still-
You see all these people waking up, and you see them waking up in different stages, and you just watch them going through all these emotions, and then you give them like a few weeks, and then they're a little calmer. And when they first wake up, they're just pissed off. We were all there. We've all been there.
Yep.
And by the way, if terrible is the only thing I'm going to be called tonight, I consider that a win.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Yeah, it reminds me of the old saying, how's it go? You have two ears and one mouth for a reason, right?
Yeah. Take the cotton out of your ears and put it in your mouth for a second.
Yeah.
The chat agrees with me, so there you go. You could all read all the chats because they're integrated, so you can read
Yeah,
them all, right?
I actually like the consolidated chat thing, but I don't know where people are coming from. It should have a little tag next to it saying, hey, this is from this channel. Yeah, because a lot of people are in multiple channels, so you're trying to follow the conversation on each channel,
Well, you all are restreaming on one channel each, so I guess it's all. So yeah, you won't know which one is which.
Yep.
But you know the black ones are from my chat, and the paired ones are from one of yours.
Yeah, one of ours, yep. Yeah, Vern, you can see that. You can see that too. There's a button down at the bottom. Someone found it the other week and could see all the chats. But yeah, I can't remember where it is on mobile. I always pull the laptop out for this. But yeah, it's wherever your private chat button is, you have a toggle to swap it. So if I would type something in private chat, it would pop up for you, and then you can swap that to the stream chat.
You can?
Apparently on mobile you can.
Oh,
it doesn't pop in.
I'm the host, and I don't have any option.
That's fine.
Yeah, Vern, they're not talking about you yet. Actually, someone just said, hey, Vern, as soon as I said that. But yeah.
Not yet. But I can't even see if it is live on my end. Oh, there's something that popped up. Yeah, Rock Lady.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
I just turn my other phone on to my channel, and then I can talk to my people, or at least answer. That's the only way I figured out how to do it. I just turn the other phone on, and then I can talk.
Yeah, I forget who said they figured that out, but yeah.
I get in enough trouble with one phone. I don't need two.
I usually have 3, so.
So somebody goes, "What's your phone number?" Which one?
Which one? Yeah, that's true. I have 3 phone lines, so. Oh, is that actually Tate? I think that's Tate. I haven't seen him in a while.
Probably because he was texting me. He tried calling me, then he asked me if I'm live, and I told him I am. So he probably is. That probably is him.
Yep. Yeah, I had to look
That
at
was
the
weird.
name
The other
quick.
day, the other day, I was just cruising down the road and I didn't even see him, but he called me up and said I passed him.
Yeah.
I said, "Did the truck
Well,
look pretty going down the road?" He said, "Yeah." That's one
yeah,
thing
you
I don't
should.
ever get to see is my truck going down the road because I'm always in it.
Hmm. Yeah, every now and then I tell people I gotta blow the dust out of the train horns, make sure they're still working.
I do that in almost every tunnel I go through.
I don't care. Yeah, I'm a
The other day, I was actually
How?
I
Rose.
was doing that, and I actually got a guy to honk back another truck.
Yeah, I had the opposite happen to me in the gorge tunnel the other day. Some car honked, I guess, because they were in a tunnel. So I laid on the train horns and they swerved. I think I scared the crap out of them. Yeah, it's like, hey, I thought you were trying to communicate. We're having fun here, right?
Grey Wolf, what are you doing?
I just finished an awesome dinner that Juniper made.
Cool.
Pork chops, corn on the cob, and baked potato on the grill.
That sounds way better than my cup of mac and cheese I'm about to eat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a couple of cheese. Yeah. Do you still have some cheese left over from that endeavor?
Yes.
I bet you do.
Yes.
Oh,
I
goodness.
have
Yeah,
the boxes
Yeah,
left
right.
over, but I had to get some more cups because sometimes I'm here all by myself. I only eat a cup. Somebody told me the
We're in
other
the
day I
middle
eat
of
like
the
a bachelor, and I never thought about that.
We're in the middle of the desert.
I see that.
Better than some restaurants right now.
Sounds windy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds very windy.
Celebration, everything.
It's always windy in the desert. There's nothing to break the wind.
Yeah. So we did 11.8 miles today. And I can see Austin, Nevada over here in the distance. Mañana. So that ought to be cool. How you doing, Vern?
Just chilling, getting used to this new venture. I was just telling them I'm not used to pulling dry van, so it's kind of I've had to replace the cushion in my seat several times.
Yeah, especially when you haven't had to back up for a while, huh?
Well, it's not just that. That is different right there. It's a little bit different. But the biggest thing for me is I'm not used to not being able to tie stuff down.
Yeah.
So doing what?
Okay.
Hang on, we're getting a little interference. QRM, as we call it in the ham radio world. Say again?
I said I'm not used to not being able to tie stuff down.
Oh,
So, you know, it's a little scary.
yeah. Dunnage is a
But
big thing when it
they
comes
they got good accounts. I think even with what they're predicting with the freight crash and even more, I think I'll be able to do pretty decent until we climb out of it. But because I talked to one of the agents that I use quite a bit over the last couple of years, and he said he's predicting like an 18-month crash. So
I
based
believe
on
it.
what he's seeing.
I believe it.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad I'm on dedicated freight.
Everybody better buckle up because it's gonna get tough.
Yeah. Yeah, Vern, if it gets too terrible, the dedicated offer still stands.
Yeah.
You know, come on over. We got this stuff under contract for a while, so.
Well, a lot of what I'm doing now is hauling packaging materials for food items. So I think that's pretty solid. Everybody's gonna need to eat, you know.
Yeah, but they're gonna starve everybody out anyway.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to be able to hunt, man.
Yeah, Ron, by the way, do you have a box or anything you can sit next to your phone and try to shield it from the wind? We're getting a ton of wind off your end.
Yeah, it's Texas girl's laptop.
Oh, okay. So you can't shield it from the wind then. I was thinking if you had like a big box or something, you could sit next to it.
Yeah, nope.
It's Texas girl.
Oh, look at that. No more wind.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so turning the laptop helped.
Yeah, just play musical chairs.
Oh, there's still a little wind, but yeah, it's a lot better.
It is.
Yeah, someone. Yeah, by the way, Lisa, there's a question in the chat probably for you. Someone was saying they thought something was happening on the 23rd. A lot happened today, right? Oh, she's muted.
What happened?
Is that better?
Those are
There you go.
Yes.
Are they?
Yeah. I was trying to catch up. My guys are like, oh, they're ignoring us. They're not listening.
That's
I was trying to answer Jennifer because she said Aldi would never forgive her for returning mac and cheese. And it just went on. Yeah, something happened on the 23rd. Today was world movement. We move as one with 13 plus other countries. The UK, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, United States, Brazil. I think Albania was involved, but we are all moving with the Netherlands, with Holland, and the Dutch farmers right now because the Dutch government has decided to try and knock their nitrogen down by 50%, and they're aiming for the farmers, telling them that they're going to have to slaughter up to 90% of their stock, burn their crops, and then they're trying to take their farmland and then give it to utilize it as resettlement land for people coming in, which is like the definition of communism, by the way. So Canada, all these countries, we put flags on our truck. A lot of them did some slow rolls, convoys to bring attention to the Dutch farmers and also move as one so that we can start putting the world together and showing the global elitists that there's more of us than there is of them. So that was like the big deal today. Canada had a really, really good turnout. It was pretty awesome to watch. So in the United States, they had them out of Port Huron. Sorry about that, Diego. Go ahead.
You know what happened in Canada today, right? Trudeau today cut farmers' fertilizers by 30%.
Not surprising. We knew that it was coming to Canada next. The theory is they're not hitting America hard so that we'll just stay quiet and calm, because I think if they hit America like they do the Dutch or Canada and we start rocking and rolling, which we need to get going, that'll really light up the world. So
don't they also have something going on in China too? I heard a little tidbit today. I think it was just a small little clip about something going on in China, talking about freezing bank accounts and something about Tiananmen.
Yes.
Just a little bit that I heard. I couldn't really find anything more than that.
Yeah, they're starting bank bail-ins is what it is, where the bank's holding the money and forcing people to invest in the bank. But
so even China's in that kind of stuff too. Then.
Well, they have started protests in China about a month and a half ago. They've just been small and squelched pretty quickly, as you can imagine. But there's video footage out there of people outraged trying to go to the bank back then and trying to get the money and rebelling. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of pissed off people in China.
Yep.
Because I guess what brought up the news was there was a video that was put out and they saw tanks out there. Kind of like, what year was it when they had Tiananmen Square? And they had a video that you could tell was not from back then. You could tell it was recent, but they're trying to make up some kind of stories about something else. But I guess what made the news was the idea that there was tanks out there, which to me does a lot of good. Like if we hear all these countries like the U.S., Canada, the Netherlands, the Dutch, and all that, all being involved in protests and stuff. Australia standing up, but the big one to me is China. Like China's been in this lockdown for so freaking long, as far as communism coming in. To see them even doing it is big. Like it's spreading to there. That's good. That's good because China has like their hands on everything.
Well, they have
Yep.
that social credit score system, and that's kept a lot of people at bay. But they're done. They're done, man. You can tell they've been done. They've been running on the bank since April.
Yeah, it's funny, Vern. As you were saying, there's tanks in the street. The chat was saying there's tanks in the street. So.
Well, that's what made the news was that little video, and I forget the argument they're making, but there's supposed to be an argument they're making about, something like as if it's fake. You know how media is.
Oh, we lost Mudpig.
Yeah, we lost Mudpig.
I promise it wasn't me.
Strike two. We mentioned China.
Roger, thank
Do
you
what?
for clarifying. I do read the chat, but if you're saying something that you want me to repeat, you need to make sense. Sorry.
Oh yeah, looks like it's my day for internet issues.
Shouldn't have returned that. What was that system you were telling me the other day? Yeah, you shouldn't have returned it.
The Starlink, I still have it. I was actually
you still
telling
have it?
Diego before the panel, like the prepaid time I had as the trial is getting ready to run out, and I'm debating if I should order another month and give them my credit card information, because I don't want them to charge me for it for not returning it, but they haven't told me that they want it back yet. So I'm like, well, what do I do? Do I just kind of let it sit around as an unactivated Starlink now, or what do I do with this thing,
Diego, they're talking about either Evergreen or Evergrande, a housing investor went bankrupt in China. But I know what they're talking about because he's saying, so all the people were paying on homes that won't be built. China was actually trying to boost its economy, and they were building empty cities, and these people were investing into their future and paying money toward these houses or apartments or anything in these empty cities. They convinced these people that was going to be a retirement to pay into it. And so that might be what he's pertaining to.
Yeah, that is what he's talking about. And he finally did give an explanation. Thank you, Lisa. Here's what he put. This is what I was looking for because I didn't know what he was talking about.
Yeah. It was one of the biggest companies in China that just went belly up. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how they were boosting their economy the last 15 years, I think.
Yep.
So, I mean, this is going on everywhere. And we don't get to hear it from China a lot because it's quelched, obviously, immediately. It starts and then they put the lid on it as fast as they can. But there are videos out there.
But to me, that was the biggest news was the fact that China's involved, seeing them stand up is big because they, in my opinion, maybe besides North Korea, China's about the worst as far as where they're trying to take us. China's already there. So if they're standing up there and they're like almost the worst, if not the worst, I mean, that's big. That means, there are people out there standing up, and that's what we need.
Yeah, Roger says the whole world is on fire. But
I was just going to mention that as well. That's about the best comment there. The whole world is on fire. And it's true. I mean,
and
I don't
nobody
think...
killed the fire extinguishers.
Yeah, they're on a boat in the ocean getting ready to be unloaded. They haven't been unloaded yet.
Yeah.
They're in line at the port.
Is there another ship stuck in a canal somewhere? Is that it?
Oh no, I was just saying because all the ships stuck in line for the ports, and apparently I heard the port of Oregon is now protesting. So I don't even know what's going on anymore. You know.
Most of that is their California started protesting '85. Most of that's coming from that, I think. I'm not sure why. I mean, if Oregon's being involved in that too, I wonder if they're gonna, because California does something, everybody else does too. So maybe I need to check into that, see if maybe Oregon is trying to pass the same kind of thing.
Yeah, or if the port's just cranky. Yeah.
If they are, it'd be good for them to stand up.
Yeah, you never know though. I mean, there could be they might want that, and so they send a whole bunch of agitators and infiltrators in there to rile everybody up over something stupid, and then they slow down the supply chain even more. You never know. That's the problem. I'm like, well, I can't tell which hand is it, good or bad, causing the chaos. It's both of them. But
well,
you never
actually,
know why.
I look at it as all good, because think about it. If the supply chain goes down, like, let's back up a little bit. How do you wake up somebody?
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
made a comment.
It has to get worse.
Right. Somebody made a comment the other day on Tim Pool's show, and he said so. He was talking about the food shortages coming up, and he said, and she goes, "Good." She said, "That's what we need." She goes, because hungry people do not care about transgender issues. She goes, we're talking about transgender issues, CRT, and all this other stuff because we're fat and happy. So if we go hungry, we're going to care more about what's creating us to be hungry, not transgender issues.
Yeah.
So in the end, I don't really care which hand it comes from. It's the same end result. People are going to get hungry. They're going to start standing up. So bring it on.
Yeah. That's true. People seem to need something to complain about, so give them a legitimate issue to complain, right?
Yeah.
I agree with that as well.
On my social media, and her dad is in somewhere in the Middle East, and she posted something he said, and he was like, I don't understand you Americans. Obviously you have too much time and you're too comfortable to be worrying about all this basically stupid shit. He's like, out here we're worried about food and shelter and clothing. Basically, you guys you talk about you're oppressed. He's like, you have way too much time on your hands to be arguing about those stupid things. I'm like, yeah. I mean, yeah, you're not worried about survival. Until you get to like Sri Lanka, they're starving to death. Guess what they did? Showed up at the president's house and said, you're out of here, dude. They're on an island. I mean, they're talking about it getting so bad that they may have to resort to cannibalism to a point. I mean, that's pretty far down the line, but at the same time, they're on an island, 22 million people with nothing coming in. What are they going to do?
Yeah. When you said that, the Soylent Green joke popped into my head, and most people don't know the origin of what Soylent Green is.
Yeah, the movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I saw a really disturbing thing that people need to start looking into in their states, where the states are actually passing laws that gives them permission to liquefy human remains and inject it into the water supply. Y'all might want to check that out.
Yep. Well,
it's about 10 different states that are doing it.
Yeah, that's Soylent Green.
Yeah. Yeah, it's terrifying. Terrifying.
Disgusting.
So it's horrible. Horrible. It just came across my information out of my R&D people. I haven't been able to get all through it, but I mean, they were showing, I think it's, Oregon and Washington and California are all involved. So
Shocker.
You might want to start checking that out.
There's so much being thrown at us that it's literally hard to keep track of everything.
It is. My brain's fried.
Yep. Who's lining up to try some nice bug snacks, right?
That's why we're planning on butchering a beef and some hog this winter, and some chickens. because I ain't eating no bugs. I'll let the chickens eat the bugs, and I'll eat the chickens. It's called recycling.
Yeah,
Cool.
that is
They
true.
said they just built like the largest cricket farm or something over in the East Coast.
Yeah, and they're
And I guess
trying to
there's
make it
another one
into
up in Canada.
yeah, and they're trying to make bug flour and all kinds of stuff. You know,
Be
it's
some good chicken
yeah.
feed.
Yeah, somebody showed a bag with cricket. It's made of crickets now. Some potato
Yeah.
chip in like the holistic food or natural food place is like crickets is one of the ingredients now.
Mhm. Yep.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Yeah, I'll stick to my beef and chicken and pork and my normal foods. You know.
You know, that kind of reminds me of what was that movie called? Gravity? Matthew McConaughey.
Okay.
No? Nobody? Any
Interstellar.
takers? Interstellar?
Matthew
Yeah, that could have
McConaughey
been
was
the
in
name of the movie.
Interstellar. The fourth dimension one. Yeah. Yeah. That was a good
Yeah,
movie.
where they couldn't grow anything anymore. That kind of deal. Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, no, that's the extreme now, but what do we
Yeah,
got
Tim
here?
I
Pool did
refer
talk
to some
about
of
how
those
he
movies.
It's Little Blinky.
So I wasn't laughing at y'all. I was laughing at a comment in the one chat. China loves anything on a stick. Yeah.
No, Tim Pool did say he tried out that cricket flour or whatever, made some bread with it or something. I forget what it was. Said it wasn't bad, but it's not like great. But they can raise
Yeah.
all the crickets they want. I'll use it for chicken feed.
Yeah, I'd be afraid to
I
choke
think
on a leg or something. You know, it didn't get ground up properly.
the point is if you want to eat crickets, go for it. If there's other countries in the world that eat crickets and they eat bugs as a diet, and that's cool, man. I no problem with it. I choose not to, and I have the right to choose not to eat crickets. The point is they're trying to force everyone to eat whatever their way. And
Yep.
no, I don't agree. That's
Yeah,
the point.
Yeah, let us have the option. I mean, I've watched Bizarre Foods on TV, the same as most people probably have. You know, and he's eating those hissing cockroaches and all that stuff. It's like, yeah, if you want to eat that, go for it, you know, but don't force me to eat it. You know,
Sure.
I'm going to stick to my steak and my, you know, ribs or whatever else I got going on, you know. I don't want someone telling me what to eat, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Speaking of that, what's Blinky got for snacks down there? I can see he's eating something.
Twinkies,
Chicken
Oh,
nuggets.
chicken nuggets. Yeah.
chicken nuggets. Nice.
Are those cricket nuggets?
Ooh, and
Cricket
Wendy's
fries?
fries. Wendy's new fries are really good, actually. Yeah, I like Wendy's new fries since they redid them.
I thought they were cricket fries.
Nah. Yeah. He's giving us a dinner tour, and we got a burger. All right.
That's just mean. I haven't even eaten.
Oh goodness, we got some piglet trolls on the burger there. You know. That's what we do with our trolls, you know. We send them to the butcher shop, and they get turned into pork chops and bacon, or sent to the smoker, you know. Yep.
No, why would you do that? Because then you're gonna contaminate the bacon. Man, I love bacon, and why you gonna ruin it?
Oh, we started that during the convoy days. It's like, oh look, oh trolls gypsies cooking up, you know. Yep, the
That
bad
reminds
piglets
me
go
when
to
we
the
were sitting,
smoker.
reminds me when we were sitting in Banning. Somebody brought like 40 pounds of bacon, and well, I knew they were gonna bring the bacon. And they apparently they showed up. I didn't know it, but I was live streaming, and right as I was live streaming, you walked up to the camera And then right at the same time, the chat was like, "The bacon just arrived."
I remember that. Yeah, that was Mike from Support Freedom actually that brought the bacon. He brought 40 pounds of bacon on a motorcycle. Yeah.
Well, he called me later on. He's like, "Oh man, I screwed up." He goes, "Make sure they know that I only brought 36 pounds of bacon because I found an extra pack in the freezer."
Yeah. Yeah, I can't believe he brought that up on a motorcycle, though, hauling 40 pounds of bacon on a motorcycle. Well, 36, I guess, pounds of bacon on a
I
motorcycle.
remember that. It was good bacon.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when Gypsy smoked some of it. Gypsy put some of that in the smoker, and it came out real good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
'cause
actually
we
started
had the
curing and
barbecue
smoking our own.
pit. It was really good.
Yep.
I wonder what he's up to these days. I haven't heard from him in a long time.
I haven't either. I wanted to get his number, but didn't get the chance. Yeah.
I don't know if I have his number or not. I gotta look.
Now we got distracted by food. What else do we have to talk about? Now we made everyone hungry.
I think he's muted.
Well, I know he was muted when he was eating. I don't know if he's trying to talk or if he's lagging. He looks like he's froze to me, if you're talking about Blinky.
Yeah, he seems lagging a little bit.
You guys see that flashing in my... I see something flashing on my flag back here. Like it's a reflection from something, but... Yeah, it's still flashing. What the hell is flashing? Yeah, that's freaky. Yeah, you guys see it? It's flashing. It's
No, I
reflecting
don't
from
see it.
somewhere. There's a truck backing up. Might be him. You get Mudpig. Have you seen the new? I gotta try to find another one. I think it's a Western Star because it looked like it had the square emblem with the W in it on the hood, and it was a really wide hood. But the cab and the sleeper were a Cascadia Freightliner sleeper. Not kidding you. I saw 3 of them this last week.
Well, it would make sense because they're recycling the sleeper. Because I mean, Western Star and Freightliner are the same company, but it's kind of dumb looking if it looks like you're describing, you know.
Oh, it freaked me out because like I thought I was passing a Freightliner, right? It was looked like a Freightliner. And I get around the guy and I take a second look at the hood. I'm like, what the? That ain't right. But it looked. I think it was a Western Star. Freakiest looking truck I ever seen.
Now I'm curious. So it has like the curved sleeper like a Cascadia would, but it's square like a Western Star.
Yeah, like and it's not like it looks almost like the old style square hood Western Star, but like a newer model kind of swing to it. Like it just, I mean, it was weird. And you could tell it was a new truck. It wasn't like an old truck put together. It was a new truck.
Yeah, it was a new truck that they just kind of pieced together. It's like, oh, it was wrecked, so we had this part of a Freightliner, this part of a Western Star, right? And he just kind of started putting bits together.
I saw like 2 or 3 of them last week, though. If it would have been just like a one-off kind of thing, I'd be like, well, somebody just put it together. But I saw like, I think it was 2 or 3 of them that I saw. It was weird. better not say it too loud because somebody will make sure I get a drug test or something because it just don't sound right.
Yeah, I think you're losing your mind, right?
Yeah.
It's like, man, they're making hybrid trucks now. They're putting all this stuff together.
Well, I mean, Kenworth kind of did. The new Kenworths they got.
Times are tough all over, man.
Yeah, they're just using spare parts, right? So, oh, we got all these Freightliner sleepers laying around.
I'm
We're
telling
getting
you,
to that.
times are tough all over. It would be the first time I seen it happen.
Yeah, I wonder if it's the 49X you're talking about. Because the 49X even has the little, like, quarter window at the top that looks like a Freightliner window.
Does it have like a pretty square hood, like a large
Yep.
car? Yeah, that's probably it.
Square hood, curved roof. It has that little, like, 45-degree window in the top. You know how the Freightliners
Yeah,
have the window? It has the 45-degree cut.
the cab and the bunk look just like a Cascadia.
Yeah. Maybe not that one then, but yeah. It's close.
Yeah, close. Not like probably not detail for detail, but close enough to where a quick glance will tell you it's a Freightliner. But then you look at the hood, it's not.
Yeah. Yep, I was just curious when you mentioned that. I'm like, what new Western Star came out?
And for a second there, I thought the mayor was hanging from the ceiling.
My phone's gonna go dead, so I had to plug it in, which means I had to turn it sideways. And then I was like, well, maybe I can turn it upside down and it'll no. No, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, I think it's the 49X you're talking about.
Since I seen those three all in like a matter of 2 days, I started kind of keeping my eyes peeled in the parking lots for one, so I can kind of take a picture of it. But now I haven't seen one since then. I've only seen them on the road.
Yeah, I'll have to find one and put it on the live stream. Although I don't spend hardly any time at truck stops, I try to avoid them. I'm usually always at rest areas or something like that. Just truck stops get too crazy, you know. And then we got Blinky at the world's largest truck stop. Yeah. He's got to finish eating. I haven't heard nothing from him all night, you know. He's got himself muted while he's eating. Yeah. Oh my, that's funny. I think.
I like to flip them off, but I keep trying to be family friendly. So.
Yeah. I haven't heard anything from Grey Wolf in a while either, though. So yeah, they're just both down there. Grey Wolf's enjoying his drink. Blinky's enjoying his food. You know. Yeah.
I was gonna grab something out of my freezer to thaw it out, and I forgot to do it.
Can you hear me now?
There you are.
I think my Bluetooth was hooked.
There you go. Blame it on your Bluetooth.
Ray Wolf got us sucked.
Nope. Okay, I'm back again. All right. Yeah, I dropped again there.
Mikey, where are you at that you still got daylight?
Iowa.
Oh,
World's
I guess that's a little
largest
bit.
truck stop.
I still have daylight.
What is that?
Someone in my chat said, "Better hope he's not eating pork rinds." I grabbed a
Oh.
bag of pork rinds.
Oh, you're not supposed to eat pork rinds?
Barbecue, yeah, mine are hot and spicy. Hot and spicy nacho cheese.
Have you ever made the chicharrones like the ones you buy like when you get them? They're like a really thin plate of like I don't know what it resembles, but you fry it in like oil and it expands into like a pork rind. Then trying to remember all the ingredients we put on it. My sister-in-law, her better half's family's Mexican, so they grilled for us one day. They made those, but it had like cabbage on it, some kind of pickled pork skin, I think avocados, sour cream, and Valentino or something like that. Oh my God, it's a really good. Now I'm freaking hungry. See what you started, Blinky?
Hey, I like pork rinds with guacamole, so I can understand the avocado. Yeah.
What do we have for lunch today?
I think that's all the ingredients.
We had chicken tenders from lunch.
How much you got for dessert?
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Right.
Yes.
Come on, Joe.
How far? Right there?
Yep.
I picked up dessert today when I picked up lunch.
Oh, I do have dessert. I was gonna say I don't have dessert. More moon
Oh, you got
pies?
fat pills.
There we go.
Jelly
Dessert.
filled donuts for dessert.
Some fat pills.
Fat pills.
I'm working on my winter body.
Hey,
Your
like
winter
I
body,
always,
huh?
like I always try to say, I'm trying to stay in shape. Trying to stay
You're
in
getting-
shape because we're out of shape.
Yeah, you're getting the insulation started early, right?
Yeah.
No, but I think I did lose a lot of weight on the convoy because I had to, in the process of the convoy, I had to put 2 new holes in my belt.
Hmm. See, I did the opposite. I gained a lot of weight in the convoy. I was up to 350 at one point during the convoy.
Yeah, but you're also like
Dang.
7 foot tall.
Yeah, I mean, but normally I'm like 275 and 300 in that area. But yeah, during the convoy, eating all that pasta and stuff, yeah, I packed it on. Yeah.
I had to buy new short.
I think I walked 10 miles a day in Hagerstown.
No. I mean, I
Back
walked
and
a good
forth
bit.
from that's way back there.
Yeah, I walked a good bit too, but going from 0 carbs pretty much before the convoy, because all I really eat is meat and vegetables, to eating all that bread and pasta and everything, my system just went, ooh, carbs, bloop, and I swelled up.
Yeah, it was funny because every time we got somewhere, whenever dinner was ready, if I was sitting in my truck or wherever I was walking around, my chat would go wild. Be like, "Hey, Mud Pig's at the table right now. You might want to go get some food."
Oh, goodness. Now, I guess we can let this secret out now. If you wanted the real food, you didn't go to the table. You went back to the smoker, and that's where you got the real food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you were
did-
lucky, like I was so busy all the time, I don't think I ever ate a hot meal for like the first 30 days.
Yeah. But yeah, Gypsy took care of the drivers. You know, if there was spaghetti over there, you might be able to go over here and get a hot dog and a burger, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was definitely He was definitely a good character. He a couple of times that small groups roll in the middle of the night, or I got busy doing something. I walk up there to see there's something to eat, and he's pulling stuff off the grill, reheating stuff
Mhm.
to make sure
Yep.
I was fed. You know,
Yeah, he made sure everybody ate. You just had to go find him, and he took care of you. The real food's never left unguarded. I like that. Yeah, it's true.
He said this one is for you. Can you read it?
Yep.
Yeah. I was just getting ready to.
you know who that is, right?
I don't.
Man, I'm horrible at names. Who's that?
That's Tate's boy,
Yeah, that
Lil
was our
Tate.
all-star.
Who's that?
Yeah,
Lil Tate.
yeah,
Say-
Tater Tot.
Oh, little one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
our all-star pamphlet dispenser. I mean, he could get rid of those pamphlets quicker than anybody. A kid walks up to you with the pamphlet, you got to take it.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know
That's
what Hadwe
awesome.
means?
Hey, buddy.
You know what Hadwe means, right?
He's. No, what?
Hadwe is freedom in Minion language. I didn't even know it, but they actually have. Oh, he said howdy. I thought he said howdy, but I didn't know it. But actually, you can actually go online and you can actually find out what certain words mean in Minion language. And so
Oh,
they were like, "Oh
goodness.
my God, use Minion language." So howdy is freedom in Minion.
All right then.
Klingon.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Klingon,
there was-
but better.
Yeah, wasn't there a new Minion movie that came out here recently?
Yeah.
Deplorable.
I wanted to go see it, but I just ain't took the time.
Yeah. I haven't been in a theater in a long time.
Who has time for that? If I have time to go see a movie, I will probably rather sleep.
Yeah.
I'll probably wait till it comes out.
Yeah, usually when I watch a movie, I watch it in pieces. I'll start it, end up falling asleep and taking a nap, and then I'll have to rewind back to where I was at. Yeah. I don't know. If I have that much time, I'm usually tired, Yeah. Oh, the Teletubby guy. One of my viewers is saying, Mudpig, tell him about the Teletubby guy. Yeah, the other day we were driving down the highway and there was a dude just walking down the highway wearing just a Teletubby head. Not the rest of the outfit, but just like a great big Teletubby head, like he should have had the whole costume. Yeah. Yeah, Kimberly had a clip of that one too, and I have no idea where he was going or what he was doing. He was just walking up the side of the highway with a Teletubby head on.
Well, it provided you humor for the day. Who knows?
Yeah. Provided me a clip from my live stream that I'm sure multiple people replayed over and over again going, what?
That's what Grey Wolf needs to do to gain more attention. Wear a Teletubby hat, carrying a flag.
Nah, he needs to get a big, wolf head or something, and just walk around wearing a big wolf head.
That'd be hot.
It would be hot. You'd have to wait till you got some elevation. Get up there at the higher elevations where it's cooler.
There's 3 people out here on the side at the intersections now on a daily basis, and their signs have the exact prints, and 3 kids need this. So I've gone to 2 of them so far, and I'm like, would you like some work? And they're like, no English. So I ask them in Spanish if they'd like to work, and they just keep shaking their head at me, and I'm like, okay, all right. I'm about to the point where the next day I have off, I'm going to have a sign and be like, I work almost every day and I'm still starving. Give me your money, not these people.
Oh, goodness.
Crazy. It had me pissed. I was like, what is it? I saw all three of them. I see them every day out there. But what worries me is, like, I wonder if the women are, like, being trafficked that way, like, to make the money, and then they have to give a cut of it because it's the same lettering for all the signs, you know?
So it's almost like someone made up all the signs, handed them the sign, and said, hey, go hold this up.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And a friend of mine out near New Braunfels, which is like kind of the nice part of town north of San Antonio, said, she goes, you know, we don't usually have any homeless people up there. And she goes, the last 2 months I've noticed these, and they look, you know, from Central America. And she said this one lady holds up need baby formula in English, and you can tell she doesn't speak Spanish. And she like had this look on her face, like she kept looking back to another car. And I'm like, I could believe that. I could believe that they brought him in here and said, you're going to stand here and make money to pay for your, you know, trip into here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Crazy kid.
I mean,
Crazy.
it's interesting. Yeah,
When
it's
it was
interesting.
funny, there was a guy out there, was it that TA west of Houston or east of Houston? There was this guy that was out there on the street corner like every day. She went out there one day to give him a sandwich because she felt bad for him. And then you know they talked back and forth. A couple days later, he comes back in and he's like, you know, they were talking about problems. And he was saying something like he brought in like $300 or $400 just that day, and standing there begging. And she's like, well, Snoota, how you gonna give you no sandwiches? I'll make like $10 an hour. You made more than I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Some people don't like my opinion of it, but I was homeless once. I was homeless by consequence of choices and by circumstance. And but I realized too, I was homeless for like 6 months. And there's a certain amount of, liberty associated with that, where you're not having to worry about, you're just worrying about day to day. You don't have bills to worry about or anybody else. But I learned a very important thing. And some people are going to be pissed when I say this. There's about 85% of people that are homeless that choose to be homeless. That's just how they want to be. There's about 15% that do end up homeless based on circumstance situations. They don't stay homeless for very long, I can assure you. There is so many programs and different things out there. And it's just like we're conditioned to go, oh, the homeless. No. A lot of them choose to be that way. They want to be that way because guess what? They have no bills. They have no responsibility. They can do the drugs they want to do. They can live the way they want to live. That's just their choice. And so I don't have a lot of sympathy when it comes to a lot of those people.
Yeah, I don't know. When I was a kid, I always thought the hobo life sounded interesting, and then, well, I became a trucker, so I kind of get to see the country anyway. But I know it's kind of like that. It's not actually like it where, it's dramatized where you hop on the boxcar with your little bag and you ride to the next state and all that, But I always thought that was interesting as a kid, But yeah.
It is liberating. I mean, it's liberating because you can just maneuver around and do things. But yeah, it's a lifestyle. A lot of these people, it's a lifestyle to them that allows them to kind of fly under the radar and do whatever they feel like they want to do. And a lot of them are drug addicts, and that is a whole nother conversation for another day because people will go back and forth about whether it's a disease or not, or a choice or anything like that. But yeah, a lot of them choose to be homeless, I assure you. So I don't have as much sympathy, and everyone's going to call me heartless for it, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, you know where most of the drugs come from, so that's part of the plan, we'll put it that way. To keep people distracted. We'll be nice about it. Yeah.
Opioid the masses.
Yep.
Yeah, they always try to keep us distracted. I keep ranting about people being distracted by the entertainment industry. You know,
Hmm.
constantly hearing people talking about, "Well, this movie's out," or "this ball game's over here," or "this concert over here." I mean, it's like nonstop. But it's at some point we're going to have to realize the entertainment industry, in my opinion, is being replaced and supported by the elites because it distracts people from what's actually going on.
But the funny thing is, with the entertainment industry and movies and stuff, is a lot of the movies eventually become true, which I can never understand. You know, it's like they got to release the information 15 years in advance or something, and then it actually happens. Yeah. So.
That's what I was gonna say earlier. A lot of these movies I refer to as documentaries now. I'm like, I don't want to watch that documentary. I don't want to watch it. Oh yeah, that one in 6 months gonna be a documentary.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anybody remember Wag the Dog with Dustin Hoffman?
Wag the
Yes.
dog.
That was Clinton. Wasn't that associated with Clinton?
It was. I mean, the movie wasn't associated with him, if that's what you're saying.
I think it was Clinton. It was supposed to portray Clinton. I could be wrong, but I think
Anyway,
that's what it.
I'm gonna have to hop off of here. It's already 9:30, and man, I had a long week. You ain't gonna believe this, Mudpig. I literally ran myself down. I've been running since Sunday morning last week, and I ran myself down to about. I think when I stopped, I had 38 minutes on my 70. So
Nice. Yeah, you were working then. Yeah, I had a 30-hour day this last week, so I was hurting too. Yeah.
I'm a little wore out.
Yeah, well, before you run off, I'll say this: we should start a convoy book club and tell everyone they have to read Atlas Shrugged.
Do what?
Or if you want to be lazy, you can get the 3-part Atlas Shrugged that came out in 2010, 11. That was really well done. And The Art of War is the other book.
Yep. But yeah, Atlas Shrugged, to summarize it, basically everyone that did everything gave up and left the people to their own devices. That's a very vague summary, but it's a very good book.
Yeah. I had to look.
They created
next to me because Ray came on and he's sitting next to a yellow truck. I'm like, wait a minute.
All right.
But anyway, I'm gonna hop off of here and get me some sleep.
All
Have a good night, and thank you very much for coming.
See you again.
Y'all have a good one. Stay safe. Keep fighting.
I don't know more. Grey Wolf, are you muted?
He might be. I haven't heard nothing from him in a long while.
There's Texas girl.
All I keep seeing is really excited about something, and I don't know what it is yet.
Yeah, he's not sharing.
Oh, he's talking on the phone.
Video chat.
Are you talking about us?
Yeah, we're talking about y'all.
Yeah.
Talking about us. I've got two things happening at the same time here.
You always have 2 things happening at the same time, Grey Wolf.
Telling you. And I'm running a little bit slow.
Yeah, you're better than me. Yeah, I can't walk and talk at the same time. I'd end up tripping over my own feet, you know, so.
It's better than tripping over your tongue.
That would be painful. Guess what?
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 I can see Austin.
You make it
Yay!
Did you make it the 9 miles today?
It's 5 miles.
You
It's
made
all,
it
it's
like
11.3.
the city limits is like 4. Let me get to the other side.
Cool.
okay. So
Cool.
you made you made it.
Correction, 5.1 miles. You were breaking up.
Yeah, so while we got your attention, how are the feet doing? I haven't heard any updates in a while.
I have no active blisters. I'm just taking a few extra precautions to make sure that the new skin isn't going to be tore up from overworking it. So I'm in the process basically of I'm chipping it away with lesser miles in a day until I can get the callus buildup. But other than that, I got no issues at all.
That needs taking a page out of the Forrest Gump Vietnam scene. Dry.
Roger. Let
Yeah.
them dry. Let them dry.
I
Yeah,
was
by the time you
watching
get
this morning. I was watching this morning.
Yep.
Yeah, by the time you get to DC, you'll be able to walk across hot coals. You have such thick calluses, probably.
Right? Right? That's the key, man. I'm telling people, because there's people wanting to know, how it is, when I'm going to get to DC. Hey, I'd like to get there at a certain time, but it's not a race because the whole purpose of this is to get people. And when the people start coming in, that's when we have achievements, because it's about gaining the people. So I could be halfway across the country and having a masses of people, and they're going to be going, oh no, please don't come. Please don't bring that many people to Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
So it's not a race. It's not how fast we can get to D.C. It's how many people we can gather along the way.
Yeah. And if you're walking, then what can they do to stop you? They can't surround the whole town with barbed wire or something,
Right. I'll guarantee you that a snowplow won't stop me.
Yeah.
I'll guarantee
That's true.
that. So, yeah. So I'll guarantee you that they cannot cover every entrance going into the district.
Yep.
So,
We'll get this barbed wire.
and when you get all the people, that's what it's all about. Get all the people, because, you guys have heard me say it before, and I continue to say it. I'll probably say it another million times in the next few months. Is all of us, when we were doing what we were doing, we were only the tip of that spear, and the body of that spear were the people. Are the people, not past tense. Are the people. The staff of that spear to take into battle is more people. If we don't have people understanding what changes have to happen with people. Got to have the people.
Yep.
So
Yeah, you need to reach that critical mass, to the point where there's enough people that they can't ignore it anymore,
you got it. When you hit that point, it's like if you can have a 4-car pileup down the road here, and within a few moments you'll see a satellite truck out there with a news reporter with that satellite dish stuck 25 feet in the air, 40 feet in the air. But in 87 days, we didn't see a single satellite truck.
Nope. We saw a few helicopters, but yeah, we never got the satellite truck.
Never got the satellite truck with reporters. So we're being ignored. The people are being ignored. But there was a crescendo going on that we were that close. We were that close to blowing past that ignorance. But we never got over that hump to be able to say, aha, here we are. You get all of these states, 16, 17 states of passage, and they start coming from other states, other than the 16 or 17 states of passage. And the next thing you know, you start amassing more and more people who understand that it's not just a singular person. It's way beyond me. It's way above me. It's way above truck drivers. It's way above any one person. And it is about the number of people that will make change. When all the people come together and have their many voices come out as a singular, loud, trumpeting voice, they cannot ignore it. No more. And with all those same people telling all of their elected individuals what it is that they want them to do, they start scaring the you-know-what out of them. And that's when they start listening to us again. But they're not going to do it until we hit that critical mass that you spoke of, Phil.
But yeah, you just need the politicians to be more afraid of the people than they are of the people lining their pockets, is what you need.
Exactly. That's the nail on the head. They're right now more afraid of the ones putting that in their pocket than they are of the people. And we need to flip that switch to where they're more afraid of the people than the people that are giving them the money.
Yep.
And when you flip that switch, that's when you make change. Because now the people will be out there in the streets going, whoa, 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 whoa. You don't work for that guy that's giving you that fancy ass boat. You work for me.
Yep. And when you don't have that office no more because the people say get out, you're not going to have the people lining your pocket anymore. So they have to realize that connection. Yeah.
That's right. And that's the educating force that I'm doing along, because I'm working on educating everybody along the way. You can't educate the ignorant. They don't want to be told. We've already had some odds doing calls yesterday right up here in Austin where one individual told to F off and die. We'll just tell them about me coming in town. One individual actually did that. That's the kind of ignorance you can't do anything about.
Yeah. Yep.
You can't do anything about people like that. But they're the minority. They are the minority. So we will take it as far as we can possibly take it. When other people around that individual start pressuring, then that individual will back off into the shadows and start sucking their thumb, going, "Oh, whoa, what did I just do?"
Yep.
So take it. You're right. You're right, Mr. J. Resolution before revolution. That's the goal.
Hopefully, I mean, that's what we talked about during the convoy, too. There's only a handful of ways this will end, and we don't want to see the one option, you know?
That's right. But you know what? To add on to that, Phil, is this. People that are so dead set against the peaceful side that are like saying, let's just go and use Second Amendment on everybody. Well, I have a question. If you can't organize to do it peacefully and get people to do it peacefully, what the hell is going to get you organization the other way?
That is true.
You still got to have people. You either have, now you just got more people. You just got people that have something in their hand that's got a pretty fast projectile going on it. Watch it.
Yeah.
Watch it. She will get into courts, honey. Take her. Gotta keep her tight and get her out. She'll knock stuff over.
Yeah, there's a heck. Yeah, there's a heck of a lot more risk for someone to go out with something in their hands that way than what we're trying to do.
Right, and if you can't organize them to do this, what makes you think that they're going to be able to organize to do that?
Yeah.
So either way, you still got to have people.
Mm-hmm.
So why not try to get the masses together that don't want to do it that way, but want change? Because those are going to be more than those that want to just go in guns blazing. So you have to exhaust all peaceful opportunities. You have to.
Yeah.
If you've exhausted all peaceful opportunities, you've tried absolute everything, then we know what's happened in the history of governments around the world since we've been keeping records. The people have always come to bear against the government and taken them out.
Mm-hmm.
This particular worldwide government thinks that they've got the answer to that, and that they've groomed us over the last 200 years so that they can prevent such a thing from occurring again, like has happened before in all of history. They got another thing coming.
Yep.
They got another thing coming. They don't realize that the silent majority is strong.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're playing off the same playbook we've seen before, though, where you start with the children. You know, you start with the children and just let the older generation die off, and then the children do what you want them to do because they don't know
Exactly.
no better.
You've indoctrinated all of the young,
Yep.
so that they believe that the Constitution is nothing but an old piece of paper that shouldn't be in existence anymore. And by the time you get several generations of indoctrination, they believe that they can control all of it, and that all of us old farts have died off, or maybe they've tried to accelerate that, shall I say.
Yeah.
That's what we have to stop. You know, when you look at the demographics of my particular streams, 41% of my viewership is over the age of 65.
Same here. Same
Okay.
here.
All right. When you look at another 38% are 55 plus. Well, those are some pretty damn large numbers.
Yeah.
Where is the rest? If I've got 38 and 41, that doesn't leave a whole lot for the less than 55 crowd to come into play.
Yeah,
That
and that's
tells
one of
you-
the Yep. And that's one of the problems we've always had is how do we get the younger generation interested? You know.
Right, because they've been so indoctrinated that there's a lesser population there. There's a lesser number that will work with what is right, and to everybody else, we're just a bunch of old farts that want to protect a piece of paper that's old and dusty.
Well, remember this though. There are a lot of people like my stepsister. She's 29 now, I think. And she was kind of indoctrinated for a while there, but then she kind of got out into the real world and life kicked her in the teeth a few times. And all of a sudden she realized what the hell was going on. And, you know, I talked to her every 6 months and she's like, man, they sure take a lot of taxes for something and they're not doing anything to turn slowly and see what's really going on, because now she has to deal with life and she's seeing the consequences of what the government is imposing and stuff like that. But when you have like kids, and I don't mean kids like as in like under 18, I mean like 18 and they're, you know, 25 and they're still living under their parents' roof and they're sheltered and they're insulated from all those things. They're also the most altruistic between like 16 and 25. So that's where they're teaching you want your fellow man to be, you know, equitable or equal. Well, of course, you know, you do. But they're sheltered from the life and the consequences that the government's imposing to a great extent. But when they get out of that and they start to be on their own, they start to see that. Believe it or not, I've seen a lot of them turn like that over a few years. From being like all the way over here to like, wait a minute, that's not cool because of their parents. So just remember, life's got to kick them in the teeth a little bit.
Yeah, no, and I get that, Lisa. That, you know, they're out there. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that when you look at the numbers, there isn't a whole lot of them. And they need to be spoken to, and they need to be somehow, if you just want to reach out there, shake them and say, would you please wake up? You know?
Yeah. I mean, I know a professor, and he said there's about 60 or 70% of his, you know, college kids that are like, they're done being told what to do. I was like, really? That's interesting. He's told me that, and I go, you know,
I just like.
I mean,
I would like
they overplay their hand.
I
Yeah,
just I
they
would like to
overplay
see
their
it in the
hand though.
numbers. You know, I'm not seeing it. You know, I
Agreed.
see it on a onesie twosie basis from here to there. You know, saw that in Hagerstown with a few young people there. I do see it, just not see it in mass, and that's
Yeah,
what we need to do.
yeah, most of the young people I saw were very young, you know, like, you know, kindergartners and stuff out there with their little flag and stuff. You didn't really see the teenage population or the college population.
I
Uh,
saw some. There were some out there. Like, were they in droves? Absolutely not. But they were like the ones where you could tell that they were probably more of a conservative type people. And but I also talked to a couple that were like on the fence. And after all this like bull crap that's been going on and all the lockdowns and everything, they were like, no government should be able to do that. They don't have our best interest at heart, and it just totally pushed them to the other side to understand the truth. So it was nice to hear that too from them. You know, I think they're gonna overplay their hands. I mean, they already have to a lot of us, but I think the ones that are really just like locked into it, I think they're just gonna think that they can push them around so much that they're just gonna literally turn and rage against that. And that's when we have to be patient for it. I mean, they're coming. I just think they're just gonna push it so hard on the government side that it's just there's only so many people that are gonna put up with it, you know?
yeah,
Some
I
of
mean,
them
everyone
already are
has
like,
a,
no,
We just got to, you know, we just got to try to accelerate
breaking point.
the curve, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, that's my point is that the numbers do not reflect it when we look at demographics. You know, you look at Blinky's, you look at mine, you look at yours, you look at Phil's, you look at all of the individuals that are running streams. You go back in and you look at your demographics. You're not going to see that crowd there in numbers. You'll see a lot of people my age or in the 50 plus crowd. Now, there's a lot of 40 something and 40 something there. It's rough. We're just not seeing it at that 40 odd percent. You know, we're seeing it at
Yeah,
5,
but Gray Wolf,
seeing it at
you're
15%.
the baby boomer generation that came right out of World War II. It was literally a different era also. I mean, we've had
Right.
wars, but nothing like to the depths it was. The rest of them have been just these choreographed or orchestrated wars that really haven't been solidly the difference between good and evil. And so I think that you definitely grew up right after World War II. That was just instilled in you. And it's a lot of us have had it so good for so long. Like, I'd say from the mid 80s on, like nobody really understands from if you're born mid 80s and on, you don't actually understand like the desperation that the country has been through in different times, you know? And really a lot of us, I mean, we've all been sheltered from the really bad stuff. Like, and unfortunately fixing to starve soon. And I don't think anyone really comprehends that in this country right now because they're like, oh, well, people are starving. No, you as an average person are going to be starving, looking for food. I don't know when that's going to be, but it's coming. It's coming soon. And, you know,
No,
and that
you
is
know,
really
it's,
going
you know,
to affect a lot of
right.
people.
Stan was right,
Huh?
Lisa. I don't mean to cut you off. Stan was right the other day in saying that they just haven't felt the pinch yet. They haven't felt the pain.
No,
They haven't
no,
felt enough
they haven't.
pain. And when they do, maybe then they'll go WTF, to use their analogy today. And at that particular point, we can start to try to take them and clean out that brainwash.
Agreed, and that's what we're trying to do. I mean, with the United States Liberty Alliance, I mean, we've already said it too. We're trying to provide a sanctuary, a safe haven, a place for people to look to for help and for education. And you know, when WTF hits, they're gonna be like, well, how do we here? We've got we've got ways to teach you how to take care of yourself because the last thing we want is for these people to go, oh my God, just like the government does, create the problem and swoop in with the solution. We want to provide that alternative for people to go, oh my God, hey, we've been working on this with a lot of different people. We've got, people in your communities that will sit here and help you, tell you how to grow and food and stuff like that. So, I mean, yeah, it just hasn't gotten hard enough, but there's been a lot of talk about they haven't let it get that hard yet for the United States on purpose. Like they're really squeezing the Dutch right now in Canada, but they haven't done it to us as much yet because I feel like they know that if those people start to wake up really fast, that it's going to be
They
out
are
of control
doing
for
it to
them.
us. We're just so much more in population that it's not as visible as those other countries. But they have been increasing that, tightening down the screws. How do you go from $2 a gallon to $7 a gallon in gas without that being true? They have been doing it to us. The fact of the matter is, you look at Canada, it's sitting at 35 million people in population, but the Americans are sitting at 335 million. So they're only 10% our size. So you make the change there, and yes, it's evident. You make the change here, it's only 10% visible. So that's the difference. It's happening just as hard as it is in the other countries, and that's why I'm passionate about it. I know that's why everybody I met over you and everyone else has that passion, that fire in your belly, that's saying, let's fix this crap, because you cannot continue it. And Stan's right, and I agree with him. They just aren't hurting enough to get off their butt
they're not.
and doing something about it.
They're not.
Yeah.
That's
They don't have that.
Yeah, go ahead, Phil.
Oh, I was just going to say they don't have that frustration yet where they're looking for a group to join up with and try to find the answer. It's like they're missing that kick in the rear, for lack of other words, to get them to get up and do something,
And I'll add to that.
Yeah, Phil. I think that's
I'll add to that is all those people we saw on those bridges coming out from Adelanto, all those people, and not all of them, but a good majority of those people were looking for somebody else to go in and fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we need people to understand that don't put your eggs all in that one basket, because it isn't me that's the answer to this or the solution to the problem. It's you. It's you. It's you. It's you. It's you. I am but a little teeny fraction of that picture. And so I saw Lisa blackout. So everyone needs to know that they have a part or a role to play in this, in fixing this.
Yep.
Every single one.
And I know not.
Go ahead, Phil.
Oh, I was just going to say, I know not everyone can come out and they can't do anything, but just come out and make an appearance. Just you being there shows strength,
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why in this walk, we say walk for a mile or walk for a while. I have a young lady here today that walked 5 miles with me today. She's planning on walking another 5 miles plus with me tomorrow.
Yep. And that's like I told you, I can't remember the last time I've walked a mile. So if I meet up with you, it'll probably be, hey, how's it going? I'll maybe make it a mile or a half a mile or whatever. And then you'll have to go on your own,
Hey, which is what we've set up. And, where people can come and walk what they can walk and then fall back and catch a ride on the bus, and I call it the bus, but it's the Beechwood. And, catch a ride up to the next point. There are so many things that we can do. And you start to realize it when you're out here walking and beating your feet down on the pavement, which, by the way, when it's 88 degrees outside, the pavement's 137. We looked at that today. There's just so much more that we can do. People don't have to actually come out and walk. People, right now, it is 89.7 degrees. Thank you, Texas. So the people, there's ways to explore without having to actually You know, and that's where the folks who are supporting me on my team, they're asking for volunteers. Volunteers. We got about 17 states to cross. You know how many counties that equals? My goodness. All of those counties, well, they all need setting up, getting ready for what could potentially be a large crowd of people through their counties. Volunteers are going to be needed to help set up. So unlike where you have 30 or 40 volunteers, you may have to have hundreds of volunteers going in and saying, what can I do? I live in one of those 17 states. I know so and so. We've already got a couple of folks in Illinois that are popping up for the Effingham area that are looking to dig in there, make phone calls. We've got people that have been in the group for quite some time that are calling ahead, talking to the sheriff's departments in these counties that we're going across. Right here in
That's what I was getting ready to ask you, because that was one of my biggest problems with the convoy, how things were done, is we didn't have that advanced team. People didn't know we were coming. They didn't know what was going on. There was no preparation.
Correct.
That advanced team, I always said that we should do it like the carnival. Have that advanced team going out, hyping people up, let people know what's coming into town, and then, we show up.
And you know what we have dubbed that in the walk? We are calling them walk ambassadors.
Yeah.
The walk ambassadors are the ones that go forward, and they're out there 2, 3, 4 days ahead, and they're drumming up the area. They're handing out the cards. They're saying, guess what's coming here in 2, 3, 4 days? They're going to be staying here. There's going to be a rally there. There's going to be this person speaking. There's going to be this. This is what we're going to be talking about. That is. What's that? Oh, he's talking to someone else. So that's what's so important. You're right on. Having that advanced team of volunteers that can act as walk ambassadors. But it is so important that they actually communicate with, I'm not calling my group organizers, I'm calling them supporters that are coming back and get that cohesion of saying, of sharing what they've communicated. Otherwise, you get 10 people doing the same darn thing. People you're trying to talk to and convince it's a good thing are going, I got 25 phone calls today about the same darn thing. You guys want to pull your head out of your backside? So there's got to be this level of communications that says, hey, I'm going to contact this person, and everyone sees it. So you don't get 700 people deciding to do the same thing at the same time. Just because they see I'm 5 miles from Austin, all of a sudden people in my chat start making the calls out to Austin. Those people in Austin are going to start hanging because there's just too many people.
Yeah. So that was one of the big breakdowns when we were traveling across the country. Like when we rolled into the auction house, I'm not going to rehash too much of the convoy here, but when we rolled into the auction house that had all the John Deeres, I can't remember if it was the state police or the fire company, but either way, we had the escort in, right? They actually came into my chat and they were talking to me, and I'm like, well, I don't know if this is true or not. So I ended up calling G and being like, hey, they want to escort us in. I don't know if you can confirm this somehow, but they had no way of contacting to say, hey, we want to escort y'all in, because they had attempted, and they had to go through my live stream, and then I called G and he was able to get a hold of them and confirm, but there was none of that advanced communication.
Mr. T's got to go get a battery charger. So, cord and the brick, please. So this is great. We're sitting in a park and ride. Okay. That is 11.8 miles from where we started, and yeah, he's got mine coming. So, all right. So we're at a park and ride right now, and Texas Girl is here. She joined up last night with Juniper, who cooked a fabulous dinner for us. We've got
Yeah, I get,
Whiskey Tango, who is Tom. He's and his wife Pat, and with the kids and growing. We've got Ron and Jerry will be here tomorrow or the next day. So they're already confirmed at the RV park in Austin. This is growing already, and we haven't even got out of the state yet. We have, I think we're at about 171 miles once we get to Austin total that I've walked. And shortly after that, I'll be looking at my bicentennial stop, which is right around the petroglyphs, I think.
yeah, I get jealous every time I see one of Juniper's streams with his cooking. Yeah, you're lucky to have him with you there.
I'm sorry, I had some QRM.
Oh, I said I get jealous every time I see one of Juniper's videos with his cooking. Yeah, you're lucky to have him there.
All right.
I'm sure you're eating good.
Oh, man, we had. This one's got that QD 3.0.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, man.
That has
Yeah, the QD 3.0. Yeah, that's the bomb. Yeah, it's still charging.
That's literally all you need.
So, yeah, so I mean, we all want to see change. Link, where are you?
He's taking us on a tour of I-80 at the moment.
He had to go
Oh,
get
Iowa 80. I thought I saw you back there.
Yeah,
You know, I'm not super happy about the way they're talking to people out there, but they don't want to be supportive of any kind of a freedom movement.
Bring me back.
all of it.
So that's kind of a problem. But no, this is great. You got Juniper out here is now fixing breakfast tonight. We're 171 miles that I've walked so far. So that means the petroglyphs on the other side of Austin are going to be my centennial mark. Yeah, my bicentennial mark. So I'll have 200 miles down by then. And I feel great. We've been chunking away at the miles a lot, miles per day, but I'm not beating up my feet until I can get them all calloused up.
Yeah, and we discussed that as well. If you tear yourself up now, then what's the point of it? Because you're not going to be able to finish. You got to work into it, you know?
Exactly. By the way, we're on a Starlink connection right now to you. So,
Yeah, how you like it? I mean, have you tried it rolling, or have you
no,
just
we haven't.
tried it
This
static?
is the maiden voyage right here. You're on its maiden call.
Yeah, I'm still using mine every now and then, but with it, like I discussed with you, with it having to keep its orientation towards the northern sky, it's not great for in a truck while you're moving, you know? It needs to be stationary, you know?
Well, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, how much wind force that little 1.5-inch pole or 1.25-inch pole can hold.
Oh, it'll
Yeah.
take a lot. I mean, I've seen videos of them in storms and stuff where it's going sideways, stuff's flying by, and the Starlink's just contently sitting there, you know?
So if it can
They're
handle
pretty...
50-mile-an-hour wind, you could take the tripod and just mount it to the roof, right?
Well, that's how mine's actually mounted. My truck has a false roof. My truck's a mid-roof with a cap. Right under my cap is where my Starlink sits on the roof of the actual truck under the cap, and it's just ratchet strapped to the sides of the false roof. It has 4 ratchet straps going in each direction holding it centered up there, and it rides up there all day long, and you know wind gets up under those false caps. and it hasn't affected it, you know.
I was thinking about a way, because you know how it's got 3 feet. It's got 3 legs on it. And then that 1.25 inch pole up the middle to the dish.
Mhm.
I was thinking a way of putting up maybe a gin pole. You know what? A gin pole up the back of the RV. And then having it take the feet off of the pole and let it just sit there just above roof line at the
Yeah,
back.
well, there's a lot of guys. They'll go to Harbor Freight, and Harbor Freight sells a telescoping flagpole, and they'll actually take that telescoping flagpole and get some fittings and just adapt it and set it right on top of the telescoping flagpole. So when they park, they just run the flagpole up.
Right, but I'm talking, I mean, at 2 miles an hour, I don't think there'd be a problem.
Yeah,
I think
and
at
that's
2 miles an hour, 3 miles an hour, I think it'll track.
yeah, and I've had it tracking at 75 miles an hour. I mean, it'll track, it just won't move. It won't, like if you turn and now the Starlink's facing east or even worse south, then it loses its tracking. That dish needs to face north. That's the biggest problem. If the back of the dish is facing the wrong way, then you got no signal.
All right, so if you're moving and you're slightly adjusting, it's going to adjust though, right?
Yeah, it'll, like I said, I mean, I had it tracking at 75 mile an hour, I was able to do a speed test, and it worked, but the dish has to be facing the right way.
Right. I'm just saying, as
Yeah.
you're moving like this or like this down the road, it's
Yeah.
not, it's not going to just knock you off.
No,
So
no, as long as it's vaguely facing north, it's happy.
So if we get a pole and we put a pole up off the back of the Beechwood and we get it so that we can now U-clamp that to the pole, take the feet off of it, then the dish itself will be above the roof of the Beechwood about that much. Then
Yep.
it can actually turn everywhere that it wants, and then we wire it right through. We should
Yep.
be able to work it. Now, the panel.
And that router has...
Go ahead. The router.
Oh, I was just going to say, and that router has a pretty good throw. That's a pretty strong router. I mean, I've been in the bathroom at the truck stop before and picked up the Wi-Fi from the truck.
How far?
I've been in the bathroom at the truck stop before and be able to pick up the Wi-Fi from my truck. So, I mean, it's a good throw on that router.
So, if he's 4 car lengths behind me in the Beechwood...
Oh, yeah. You'll have them easy then,
able
yeah.
to have signal to still keep my streaming.
Yeah.
And what we have to do is we have to figure out how Juniper can do his classes simultaneously.
Well,
And-
Juniper won't be using the uplink. The uplink on Starlink is the issue. You only got about 10 megs to work with, give or take. Sometimes a little less. Your
True,
download...
he still has to be within Wi-Fi range.
Okay, yeah, so he'd have to maybe sit in the Beechwood and do his class and ride there a little bit or something. Yeah.
Yeah, well, if we got a table there set up with you in there while he's driving. That would work because I'm not interfering with that stream. Mr. T's got me in his ear. He's, so that, the only thing that's going off is the radio. But how are you going to do that? Freedom honking, it was unsolicited. So yeah, I mean, because you got to be stationary to do your class anyway. So yeah. So if we're parked at night, shouldn't be an issue.
No, my school is 8
We have to switch it around. I think
Yeah, but if he's driving.
Yeah, Juniper couldn't do his class while he's driving, that's for sure. That'd be a little hard, juggle a laptop in a class.
All right, you guys figure that out. My brain is already kinked up enough now.
Yeah. But yeah, Starlink's good as long as it can see the horizon, pretty much. It needs that northern horizon.
He tells me to worry about this. Everything else they got.
No, okay. Everything else they got figured out.
Yeah.
I mean, you can definitely have a
Oh yeah.
That's fine. Your brain's still going to do that.
Yeah. I'm still thinking of a way to cleanly put a pole up the back side of the beach. We'll put one on one side that's a flag, and the other side is Starlink, and then we'll sit there and say, "You thought this wasn't high tech."
Yeah. The nice thing about the Starlink is it is small and light. You know, it's not real big and heavy.
I'm thinking seriously that just getting a. I'm going to be honest with you. I think an 1.25 inch piece of conduit, 10-foot piece of conduit, could be strapped to the beechwood.
Yeah, because if you got a ladder on the back, you know, a lot of people do pole mounts right off their ladders on RVs.
Yeah, I don't have a ladder off the back. So we'll have to figure it out. A piece of conduit that we can put up there.
You got a spare tire off the back of the beechwood?
No. The spare tire was underneath the beechwood. And now it's in the supply trailer because I took the spare tire rack out and we put a receiver hitch underneath the beechwood. So now we've got an extender carriage out the back and we got the generator and gas cans out.
What kind of mirrors does it have on the driver's side? Like
It's got your standard
like
truck
an
type
old-
mirrors. It's got your truck type mirrors on the front. That's not a bad idea.
strap it up to the
Probably use a
Strap it up.
4-foot piece of conduit and put it on the front.
strap it up to that mirror so spin it to adjust it to the horizon as you're going down the road if need be.
We could even put a temporary gusset up there if we had to.
Well, I know
Here's your weather forecast from WeatherCat. Maybe.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, I know Starlink does have a sandbag mount, too, where it just needs to sit on a flat surface and it uses sandbags. You could maybe even put that on the roof as slow as you're going, and if you need to move faster, just take it off.
Yeah, but we'd have to break a ladder out of it.
We would.
Don't forget.
Yeah, drive off.
I just love that
Don't
ladder.
forget. Somebody will get hit by a giant sandbag.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, take off and the Starlink goes flying, the sandbags go flying.
Yeah, sandbag goes through a truck driver's
You
window.
never-
Next thing you know, Great Will spins
Yeah,
suit.
you never want to set stuff up of like the first rule of don't do it is, you know, if you go faster, then you've got to adjust. No.
Yeah, that's
I call
true.
that an
So you can go
impact
100 miles
adjustment.
an hour.
The second rule is if somebody says do this, trust me, I know what I'm doing.
Right?
Yeah, and if they say,
Or,
hold my
I'm
beer,
from
get
the
out of camera,
government
right?
And I'm here to help.
we've
That's the
seen this.
scariest one.
We've seen this a couple of times, haven't we?
Well, just so you know, Gray Wolf, I'm living in an old Adobe home. The walls here are 3 feet thick of Adobe, and the router goes through those walls. That's how good that router is.
Yeah,
One-
the Starlink router is incredibly strong. Yeah.
Well, I do have concerns about it coming up. You know, I know that it's designed by the SpaceX folks, and it's operated by the SpaceX folks. You know, the same people that put the new rocket that puts our guys up there in orbit. When this thing come up here tonight, it come up and it said motor stuck.
Ah, yes.
Not once, but twice. I can't help but think, what the hell happens to those astronauts when it comes up and tells them motor stuck?
Yeah, when it's first orienting, I think it needs to figure out its center or something, because mine did that too. Because it'd go flat and then it'd try to tip, and when it tipped, it's like motor stuck. I'm like, well, you have plenty of room to tip. There's nothing there. And I rebooted it, and it went flat again, and then, yeah, it just took a few times.
Now, I had her turn the mount 180 degrees and redo it, and it was happening.
Yeah, I think it just needs to recenter itself or something. But I thought it was neat when it turned into a table. I'm like, hey, look, Starlink sent me a table. I could set my drink on it, you know? And then it eventually tips and it'd spill your drink, you know?
A built-in snow melter, too.
Yeah, it gets hot. I tested it. You can go in there and manually turn it on. It actually gets relatively warm. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you could cook dinner on the satellite using the microwaves and everything, but, you know, it gets warm.
For the tapatio. I'll run them up there and put them in the fridge for you later. Oh, okay, thank you. So, very cool, very cool. So in any case, a lot of firsts today here with a solar panel, charging a flash fish unit, and it's got it going on the flash fish, and then went and plugged in the solar panel. It decided that it's either or. You want to charge me, or do you want me to put power out?
See, I have I can't remember the solar generator I have on the truck, but I have one of the solar generators, and it's escaping me right now. But mine, I can do both at the same time.
A Jackery?
No, it's not a Jackery. It's I gotta look at my phone here because I have the app on my phone. A Goal Zero. A Goal Zero is the one I have.
So what we were using is off of Pouty and Whiskey Tango. Their trailer has got a badass Battleborn system in there. It's a badass. Let's just put it that way. And
yeah, I've heard those Battleborn batteries are incredible. Yeah.
There you go. That's what we're using out here for power right now.
I think I'm gonna say goodnight, y'all.
Are they badass Battleborn or Battleborn badasses? They're awesome. They're awesome.
Good night, Lisa.
Good night, y'all. It's been fun.
Good night, Patty.
Good night.
Hey, John boy. Keep up the good work,
Good night,
Carol.
Grandpa.
Great to see you.
Good night, Mary Ellen.
Love you. Take care.
Hi, Diego. Thank you. Bye, guys.
So, Weather Cat, tell us about the weather for tomorrow and
It's going to be pretty much the same as what you had today. Like I said, around 88, 89 degrees. It might be, as you climb up that 2,000 feet, it might be a little bit cooler up there in Austin itself. It seemed to be about, when I was watching it today, about maybe 5 to 6 degrees cooler than the valley you're in right now.
Okay, so we're dropping down about 500 feet, it looks. Then we're going to go up almost 2,000, you say?
I think it's around 2,000 feet, yeah.
What you talking about, Willis?
Austin sits at, I think it's 7,600 feet, something like that.
That don't look that. I mean, Austin Mall looks like it starts about my height. I know. 5720, right?
Earthquake, you're gonna blow away.
But I am keeping an eye on the monsoonal moisture that's coming up from the south, possibly Monday or Tuesday. So I'll keep you informed about that.
Monsoonal moisture. Does that mean I'm going to have to put some pontoons on the truck?
Yeah. We'll have to land the seaplane in to rescue them.
Yeah. No, I'm just going to put some pontoons on each side, you know, because I got the skirts. I can get some big pontoons under there. It's like the trailer can sink. I'm not letting the truck sink. It's too expensive.
Well, that'll work.
Yeah. Yeah, and then if I just get on the throttle hard enough, there's big tires in the back. I'm hoping they'll act like paddles, you know.
Sure, why not? Be sure to take video so we can see what happens.
You're going to have to be lotioned up tomorrow. I got some 50. I don't call it sun lotion, it's sun paste.
Sun paste, you said?
Yeah, it's 50 SPF, and that stuff, when you grab that bottle, it's like to get it out.
So it's like the glue we had in kindergarten. It came with the stick. It wasn't in a bottle. You had to like glop it out with the stick.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. Now I just get to where I just give it what for, and just kind of right there off the bottle on my skin and rub it in. It works great. Works real good. Getting a tan on my arms.
Yeah. You gotta get that base tan so you don't get burned then.
Right. You got the face is getting the base. Hey, that was funny. I'm a poet, didn't know it. The base is getting the base. But yeah, fun stuff.
Yep. Just don't shave. You'll look funny. You'll have that ghost beard then.
Yeah, it'll all be white, but it won't be hair.
Uh-huh.
No.
Yeah.
I haven't shaved in 35 years. It's been short, but it ain't been that short.
Yep.
So, but I'm gonna let this thing grow out. Like I said when I was on the convoy, when I started the convoy, I haven't trimmed it down to my standard number 2 since I left. Since I started the convoy, and I said I'm gonna let it grow out until it's over, till this crap is over. Hopefully, I won't be Rip Van Winkle sitting down here looking like Mr. D back here.
Yeah, don't let it get to the point where you're tripping over it. It'll be hard to walk.
Yeah. I'll be sitting here with nothing on top, and all of a sudden it's sitting there this long. It's like, let me get this out of here. So,
Just throw it over your shoulder at that point.
right? People be looking at that. What is that? That's my beard. I tried to fix it. I tried to help fix the country, and I said I wouldn't shave it until it was fixed.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe I can make some 550 paracord out of it.
Oh goodness. just start braiding it while you walk, right?
Use braids of the beard. So I don't know. It feels kind of tough. But yeah, it's fun stuff. So the sun, we got about an hour and 30 minutes, and the sun will be down. Turn off the AC. I just turn it off.
Hey, get up here.
Yeah, I just did this one, so turn the AC off. Put her down. Yeah.
Hey, Grey Wolf.
Yes, ma'am.
Has Texas Girl done a speed check on it?
I did one.
What was it like?
128 meg down and 12
Yeah.
up.
That's about what I'm seeing. Yeah, around 110 or so. Yep.
Pretty good though. I mean, even the 12 down is going to be fine the picture looks great. The sound looks great, or sounds great.
Well, 128. Yeah, so it's 12 up and 128 down. So
Yeah, and that's been pretty consistent everywhere in the country I've been. You know, it's been really consistent.
So, you know, where I am, I'm getting 20 up, so it seems to be a little bit higher. But I'm close to Hawthorne, where their main station is, so that might be one of the reasons. I don't know.
Yeah, also it
Right
depends on
now-
how many people are on the satellite and what cell you're in and everything. You know.
Yeah.
right now it's getting it's pulling down at 40 and up at 23.
23.
while we're-
That's really good.
Yeah, while we're comparing Starlinks, now I'm curious how mine's doing. Let's see.
Oh, I thought that was Starlink. Oh, that's the Starlink test. So that speedtest.net. Starlink's test says 60 meg down. I believe the speed test over this one. This is 5 up.
Yeah.
Lying.
Is it the Ookla speed test
Not
you're
the,
using?
not the one, not the Starlink one is not, but the speed test one is. Speed
Right,
test.
but there's several. The one that's really good and really accurate is called 1 second.
I think it's speedtest.
Ookla. Ookla.
Yeah, mine's very unhappy at the moment. Mine's 13.8 and 8.6. Ping's 100 though. Ping's good. Yeah, I must have some good heavy cloud cover over me or something.
All right, so let me do a speed test using my phone. Oh, wait a minute. This is LTE. I better hook up to the Starlink. Yeah, that's what I use. That's the speed test on that.
Yeah, but just think about this. Did you ever think you could be out in the middle of the loneliest highway getting internet?
Mm-hmm. It's incredible what Starlink does. Yep. Anywhere in the country, as long as you got a clear view of the sky.
Yeah.
Well, the other day we stopped at the at the old new pattern, and when we pulled in there, no service. We didn't have the Starlink yet, so I was sending text out via my my satellite phone.
I'm sure that gets expensive quick.
No, it's on my paid minutes. Yeah, let's see what it is. Bing 65. Is that your hot water heater going? $70.78. That's using the speedtest.net through the SpaceX Starlink. It didn't tell me the up speed.
Yeah, I think the actual Starlink app pads it a little bit though. But to do the upload speed on the Starlink app, you gotta swipe up. It'll say like swipe up for advanced test, and then you'll be able to do the full test.
Ookla.com. Let's see what happens when I go on. Look at my home page. Let's go to the blog. Yep.
I think Ookla is the speed test app though as well.
Got it.
I think it's one and the same, isn't it?
At least it didn't go everywhere.
What is
your 90?
Let me bring you that bag.
I've got some, and ask Mr. T. He's got some. iPhone to Wi-Fi router, 160 up, down 74 up. Starlink speed, 93 down, 25 up.
Yeah, 25 up. That's really good. Yep.
Yep.
But anyway, glad you got a Starlink out there, because I said I've been loving mine. I just don't know the details on if they're going to want it back. Yeah.
That's when you go, what Starlink?
Exactly. Well, that's like I was saying earlier. Like the prepaid subscription that came with it when it showed up as a review unit, you know, it's getting ready to run out here in a couple of days, and it's like I don't know if I want to renew it and give them my credit card information, because I haven't heard if they want it back or not. So it's like, well, if I give them my credit card information, and if they want it back and I don't get back to them, then they might charge me for it, and I don't really want to pay $700 for it, you know. So I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Yep. I sent them some support tickets, and Starlink support is, well, abysmal at best. And they just kept telling me, oh, we'll get back to you. We'll look into it and get back to you. It's like, okay, well, they never got back. So
Yeah, see, that's what I have a problem with us putting people on a spaceship they design.
yeah. Well, I'm sure their spaceship support's probably better than, you know, their internet support. But there's not even a number to call. It's hard to find an email address, and their ticketing system is just, yeah.
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 Yeah, let's put all the power up here, and that's not where up here.
Yeah. They are very good at launching Starlink satellites, though. I think this month they've launched hundreds of them, if I remember right.
Well, we just had one yesterday, and they're lighting another one off tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yesterday,
they're launching them like crazy.
Yesterday, they put 46 satellites up to support Grey Wolf Walk.
There you go. Those satellites are just going to fly right over you, right? They're your dedicated satellites.
Yep. Elon Musk felt sorry for me and wanted to make sure that we had good coverage.
There you go. Yeah.
I didn't say that, by the way. Somebody else that's in this panel said that.
I wonder who.
Yep. So don't come after me.
Hey, I prefixed it with here's another fake commercial.
I didn't know that.
Do they?
Before you tie that.
Yeah, I had someone in my chat saying the satellites take 3 months to reach their final position and activate. That's incredible that it takes 3 months for a satellite to get where it needs to go. I know if you're looking at the right time at the sky, you can see a whole line of them right after a launch flying across the sky together. Yeah. But I didn't know it took them 3 months to get spread out.
Yeah, I've seen, they call them the sky trains, and I've seen those. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. Yeah. It kind of looks like a comet or something at first, and then it's like, what is that, you know?
Yeah, it's just this line, one after another, going over you. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no water in it. So number one. So have Mr. T turn the water on. there's a shower nozzle up there. Take the shower, or if you want to go in first and prep it, take the shower nozzle off, put some water in the toilet with the shower nozzle, back faucet, and then afterwards rinse. And that way things go good. But I broke the manifold froze and cracked. So you have to use the shower nozzle to actually do the water. So when you get into the bedroom area, had the door closed, that opens the bathroom. Sorry, I know that might have been TMI, but somebody has to use the restroom.
You gotta tell them how to turn the water on.
Yeah, because it's one of those idiosyncrasies. I got a new toilet in there. I put in a year ago, but then I didn't winter it. So the valve cracked. So I had to turn the water off to the toilet. But I got the shower nozzle right there. I just use it. It works. Everything inside the Beechwood is I changed all the copper pipe out with PEX line. I put a new 27 tank in there.
So it's plumbed up like a house then. You got your little distribution block and everything, and
yep, I've got 3/8 new. All the line in there is 3/8 PEX, and then on both sides, hot and cold. Then I've got 2 spare 20s in the back, so I got 40 gallons back that's valved with a check valve to keep it from flowing back into the front tank, and then I shut off the front tank when it runs dry, and then open the back tank, and it goes through to the pump. So I get a total of 67 gallons of run. And I got 30.
That's one of the. That's one of the things Stan was talking about last week when he was on. I think it was last week. Is one of the biggest problems with RVs is they don't carry enough water.
Yeah. So I've got underneath the dinette seat is 27-gallon tanks, all I could fit in there. So I put the 27-gallon tank in there. And then in the back, I've got 2 20-gallon verticals that I set side by side that gives me the 40 extra gallons. But I don't have any room to put more water in unless I build some kind of a chamber underneath it.
Yeah, you just put that 55-gallon plastic drum on the roof, and call it a day, right?
Yeah, right. So you hit a low-hanging bridge, right?
Well, and you just get free car washes out.
Everyone behind.
No.
But we're doing pretty good out here, I'll be honest with you. I went to getting up at 2:15 in the morning and being on the road, starting to do the work by the walk by 3:30, 4 o'clock in order to pump out the miles before the sun. Because we were hitting, what was that weather cat? It was like 76% humidity one day, and it was 79 degrees by 8, 9 in the morning.
That was the morning after you had those thunderstorms move through. Yeah, I think it was about 76%.
It was at 4,600 foot of altitude with those kinds of numbers. By 11 o'clock in the morning, if you're not hiding, you're dying. I mean, it's bad. The National Weather Service actually put out warnings of doing strenuous exercises during the heat of the day after 11 o'clock in the afternoon or in the morning, basically. So during all that time, I was basically doing dark walk, which can be interesting in itself.
Yeah.
When you're doing dark walk and you're watching out at the desert and you see eyeballs looking back at you.
Yeah, or it starts looking like a horror movie because you see something, you swing the flashlight over there quick, you hear something, you swing the flashlight over there,
Yeah. And then you hear a yip, 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 and you go, oh, there he is, that little talking to his buddy down the road. Yip, 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 yip. But what's really interesting about it is watching all the animals come out that are curious about you, that would normally run. You ever seen a field mouse?
I've seen a good many field mouse. I grew up on a farm, but yeah.
The kind that got a tail about 8 or 10 inches long with a body about 2 or 3 inches long, and then it got like a little feather duster on the end of the tail.
That's a kangaroo rat.
That's a kangaroo mouse. Yeah, a kangaroo rat. We call them field mice out here because that's what we see them in.
Yeah, they came out to investigate you, huh?
It was interesting to have them actually sitting right alongside him, and then they'd stop and they'd look up like, "Please, mister, may I have a hamburger today, but pay you Tuesday?" You know.
Yeah, they're hoping you drop some trail mix or something, you know.
Right. And then we had one that was probably 4 or 5 inches in length. I saw him out of the corner of my eye on the other side of the road, and he come across the road, went to about my 1 o'clock, stopped, looked right up at me like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah, you're not supposed to be out here now.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, it's like you turn at him and it's like, "What are you doing here?" You know, it's like he's sitting right up there. They sit right back on those big back feet, those kangaroo kind of feet, and they got their front paws up there looking at you like, "What gives?" You know, it's like that. And then the birds will have 4 or 5 of them, and they'll fly right past you, and then they land, and they're sitting right there looking at you as the sun's coming up. And then you pass them, and they'll fly a little bit more, and they'll land and turn back and watch you again. And they just do that for like a mile or a couple of miles. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, that's when you just go to the mouse and go, "Hey, I see you there. You're lucky I'm not hungry, right?"
Yeah. So how about, I think I've seen the world's largest cricket.
Oh, goodness.
I'm not kidding you. They're that freaking long. I got pictures to prove it. They've got to be 3 inches in length, black. They'll stand up about 1.5 inches, 2 inches tall. And if you approach it, they actually turn and face you down. They don't hop away.
Yeah.
Like,
I know down in Texas they got some big cockroaches. They'll actually fly at you down there. But yeah.
Yeah, I was in
Don't think I've seen big crickets that big.
I watched the cockroach climbing up the wall in Hawaii, and it sat there, and you saw its head turn around, and all of a sudden it flew and dive bombed me, and I was like, "Ah!"
Yeah.
Long cockroach.
Down in parts of Texas, they got them great big ones too. And yeah, I never knew a cockroach could fly till it flew at me. I'm like, "Whoa, get out of here!"
That'll get your adrenaline going real fast.
Oh yeah, great big bug coming at you. I don't like bugs, so yeah.
I'm telling the kids, make sure you don't go out there because, of course, we're in the desert where there is rattlesnake. We did see a garter snake, a baby one. We're just kind of slithering along next to us. And of
killer
course,
kangaroo rats.
You what?
And killer kangaroo rats.
Killer kangaroo rats. Like, if I see 100 of them gathering, I might turn around and hit them.
Yeah, they're organizing against you at that point.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you've got the coyotes, and then once you've got the coyotes handled, then you've got the cattle, which are pretty cool, and then you got the mustangs. We've got Mr. T's got pictures of the mustangs walking with Gray Wolf. I'm not kidding. There's about a dozen of them. There's about he's in the beach. He took a picture. There was like a dozen. There's a napkin right there. There's like a dozen of them in the herd, and they're all walking along. And then when Mr. T got too close with the beechwood, about a quarter of a mile later, they veered off a little bit and went around another property. So that was pretty cool going into Silver Springs, walking with the mustangs. They were pretty curious. And then when I went to 50 Horse Ranch, where they have a bunch of horses in corrals, as I was walking down the street, they all run to the fence and they started whinnying at me and following me along the fence line. Whinnying.
Huh.
That was cool. That was really
You're
cool.
a horse whisperer and you didn't know it.
I didn't even know it. So Mr. T was like, "What the hell are they doing? Those horses are talking to you." And it's like I'm walking along and I'm just talking to them as I'm walking along and say, how you doing tonight? You know, how you doing? Then they whinny and then they sit there and they bob their head at you and they're right over the. It's like, it's like, come give me an apple. That's what I figure.
Yeah, an apple or a sugar cube or something, right?
Got an apple in your pocket? I'll be a happy camper. That's what we need to do with those old apples.
Yes.
Mustang food. Launch them. Get a big slingshot.
I used to do that as a kid and get in trouble. The big water balloon slingshots where you need 2 people and then one to pull it back. We used to shoot apples out of those, and you could put them out a couple 100 yards, you know?
That's what I'm thinking. You see the Mustang, say, here's the tree.
Yeah.
You need a spud gun.
A spud gun to shoot at the. We had.
That would work.
I got pictures of a Mustang that came down there at the camp the other night. She was playing hide and seek with me. Let me see. I think I can show you actually. She was playing hide and seek. Say hello to my little friend.
That's a heck of a lens you got on there.
That's only 600 millimeters.
That's more than a little friend.
Gray Wolf,
Yes,
what is the plan for tomorrow?
same as today. Yes, sir.
The first one who's gonna walk.
Whoever gets out there with me.
Mackenzie walking.
Well, you both can.
Oh, okay. Yeah, his feet are.
No reason why you both can't. Yeah.
They're better now. It was mom's shoes
You gotta
that
get you
were.
better shoes before you can walk. I'm sorry.
Okay, Mom spoke.
And your mom and dad both spoke.
Mom and Dad spoke.
I don't think you can walk in dad.
No,
Dad's
no.
shoes are messed up too. Mackenzie. It's not. That's why I said I don't think you can walk in mom or dad.
So she was playing hide and seek with me. You see? Diego's got a good ticket to full screen.
You can see something behind the bush there, yeah.
Yeah, Diego, wake up. Come on, dude.
Oh, there he
Diego,
goes. He
ándale.
switched to the
There
full
we go.
screen.
Ándale, ándale, ándale.
Arriba, arriba.
Arriba, arriba.
Cute. Yep.
She's
Yeah,
poking her head
hiding
out.
behind the bush. Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. That's why.
So Ron, someone in the chat was asking where you at today.
Yeah, there she is in all her glory.
Real healthy looking.
Oh,
Yeah.
Not bad for a Mustang. Where am I today? I'm in Nevada. Oh, interesting. I'm currently 5 miles away from Austin, Nevada on interstate, not interstate. I keep saying interstate. On Highway 50, also known as the Lincoln Highway. So you can flip through this way, that way. Be careful not to drop it. Carry it right there. See how heavy it is? And then you can sweep it. So, yeah, I used to do a lot of photography with my 35 millimeter Minolta, so I've got a few lenses. And so I wound up getting this Canon EOS M50, a Mark II, and an adapter from my Minolta lenses to the Canon. And so I can use all my Minolta lenses. I got some interesting lenses too. It's a lot of different filters too. The one that's on there right now is 150 to 600, and it's a slide zoom. So it'll slide. So I can take it out. So I can slide it out all the way, like it is there. And then once I zoom in to what I'm looking at, right, then all I got to do, boom, I just slid it from running out at 150 to 600, and now I've got on target, and I can just do an adjustment for the focus. Bang, then I can shoot off however many rapid fires I want, and that's where a lot of these photos, like this one here of her, come from. So she was coming down, and she was playing peekaboo with me, so that was pretty cool. Oh, there she is. Yeah, there she is. There she is in all her glory. Now, guess how many feet or so away that was? That was actually, I think she was about 100 yards away when I took those shots. So I was able to pull her right in. So the old camera bag and all of my excess lenses. Don't worry, it won't pull my shoulder blades out too far. But this lens is the Canon lens that is an auto lens. Yeah. So I take it apart and put it all together so that Texas has been taking a lot of pictures using the auto lens so that she wouldn't have to know how to adjust the focus and all that stuff with all the bigger lenses. So take those all out. We'll start with this one. Take that one. Cap it. All right. Oh, don't do that. Put back on here. This one's the one that has the adapter that the company put it in the right spot there. I think that one goes over here. Okay. And then we'll take off the teleconverter. And put that away.
Dave, we'll see the finish marker tomorrow.
We'll see the what?
Finish marker. We're at 10.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you'll be able to see that when we leave here. Then we'll take off this tube. I want that uncovered too long there. Now there's my Canon. Okay. So that one went in the wrong spot. Let me put it in the wrong spot. Okay. So the teleconverter's got to go in this little case, wherever the case went. There it is. Right in the back there. But I had all of these different lenses and whatever kind of photography I want to get into. I was wondering where that went earlier. I took the spare out. So now I set it up on automatic. Now it's just point and shoot. You can't get an out of focus shot with this EOS Smart lens on here. You just literally rapid fire whatever you want, and it automatically focuses in. That's eyeball correction. so it has all the good stuff in it. So Texas has been running that today. She had some pretty good shots today. If you want to see the shots from today, yeah, she got some good shots today. All right, let's see. Turn it back on.
And then tomorrow we'll download some today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll take care of that tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll get them over here to Joe.
We're leaving tomorrow to go down there.
Every day.
Today we move.
So this is one from today. I think that was as we're exiting. Here's all my gear. She got a good shot of all my gear.
They all look a little blurry from here.
Well, they do on there, but once they're uploaded, these are 4K by 4. These are 4K shots. This is a 4K camera. So she got the Mustangs. Yeah, and also I don't know if the lens is clear on the camera there, but there's the parade. And there's the close up as we were coming in. So that was today. So that's what Texas has been doing.
Those are nice shots.
Yeah, so she's going to get them up to Mod Joe. Mod Joe's going to put together not just Mod Joe, but all the, Mod Joe does a hell of a job. She's one of my admins on the website. And so as they do the blogs, and, it's a multi-personal event to do the blogs. And a lot of people are involved in doing the blogs. And so, that's a beautiful sunset.
Huh?
Yes. Here, let's show you the sunset here, folks. You see it? Flying blind, dude.
That looks good.
That's a sunset from the Nevada desert. So we get to see that every day, right? So
Truth Junkie is asking you, when do you think you'll be coming through Indiana? September? We are going on vacation sometime in September, not giving dates on the webs. We would love to walk for a bit with you.
Oh, I think September's close. We don't have direct times yet. One of the things we've been doing this entire time, we've converted from trying to make our 22 to 28 mile a day number, 22 to 26. And once you start walking, that's when you realize you need to make adjustments. And, it's like Phil and I have talked about it, and a lot of folks and I have talked about it, is you got to take care of your feet, man. And with the way that I've been doing it recently, I literally stop now every 2 miles, 2 to 2.5 miles, and I take my shoes off and I take my socks off, and I've got swimming pool foot. It's like you've been in the swimming pool too long. And, so I set that pair of shoes and socks aside to dry, and then I go to another. I let my feet dry out a little bit. It takes about 30 minutes. where I lose that wrinkle. And then I put new socks, clean socks, dry socks, and another set of shoes, another pair of shoes on. Boom, go another 2.5 miles. No blisters doing that until I can get the callousing. Once the callousing is built up without having the blisters form, then we can start powering in. We can start powering into the walks. So the goal is to get up to 22 to 28 miles per day. But there's some of them could be 30-mile days. If we have no mountains to climb, we have come up with some good numbers already. When it's a downhill stretch, we're at about 3 to 3.3 miles per hour on my cadence and my step on my walk. On uphill climbs, I'm running at about 2.2 miles per hour. So we've done a lot of climbs here, as Texas and Juniper found out yesterday. They were wondering when the damn climb was going to end to come in.
For sure.
And so tomorrow, WeatherCat's saying 2,000 feet, and I'm looking back there going, that don't look like the 2K I did the other day.
No.
But stranger things have happened. I'm looking right at it. Anyway, we'll see. So it's about 5.6 miles?
5.1 miles to the sign.
5.1 to the entrance sign, to the city limit sign. I think it's 5.8 to the other side of town, where we're going to camp out for 2-3 days, depending on how long it takes to fix the beechwood. We blew a gasket on the crossover tube for exhaust, and we want to fix a leaking problem with the swamp cooler. And no, they don't get refrigerated.
Oh,
they're Bloom.
Oh,
yeah. So
wait a minute. You're using a swamp cooler for AC?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's rough.
I have an AC unit too.
Oh, okay. So you're just using the swamp cooler to conserve power or something.
Well, it's more than that. When you get out to the desert, and WeatherCat's in here, that's a prime example. She can actually explain it to you. When you get into the desert and you're not working with these high humidity days, you are literally better cooling with a swamp cooler or an induction cooler than you are with an AC unit. It adds humidity to your air that and keeps you from drying out in your sinuses and everything else. So you'll find out that swamp coolers are preferred. Is that
I just
right?
know being.
Well, you figure that the humidity in the desert runs around 10 to 11%. That's what it's actually. I mean, that is so low that most. What are they called? Now I can't think of the word. The words, the ones that measure the humidity, most of them only go to 10. So there's been times in the desert where it actually has gone down to like 8 and 7. Right. And so that's like brittly dry. You can even feel it on your skin. Your skin starts cracking and everything. Yeah. So that's the whole point behind the swamp cooler, is it puts that moisture back in, even to help, and it makes your body feel better.
And you cool at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking in PA, like they sell those swamp coolers, at like Walmarts and stuff. And up in PA with the humidity as high as it is, yeah, those things do nothing.
They will not work. If it's high humidity, it's a waste of time. You can use it as a fan to move air, not turn the water onto it. And so you can use it as a fan or a blower. And in the case of what I have, which is a turbo cool, I can reverse the direction of the fan and make it an exhaust fan. So you can suck the heat out from the top layer of the coach. So that's also helpful, because you turn on the air conditioning unit, turn on the exhaust fan up front, and now the air conditioner is moving that air, and as the hot air is up at the top, that exhaust fan sucks it right out. So it's it's pretty neat how we got it set. But right now the float, I think it may have it may have a cracked O-ring, because if we let the water go too long to it and he turns the corner, it'll rain on you on the inside. So
That's no good.
no, so we got to fix that. We got to fix the exhaust leak. We've got to put a power a splitter on it so that when we're running the coach, it'll charge both the coach batteries and the house batteries. Right now it's disconnected so that the chassis battery is separate from the house batteries, the coach batteries. So the inverter is running only on the coach and there is no connection. So we need to put the isolator block in so that the alternator will charge both sets of batteries, but those batteries don't see each other. And that way we don't turn the key one morning and we got a dead battery because the everything on the inverter sucked it dry. So if you run down on your deep cycles, I see a question here.
Yeah, that's for you.
Okay, well, thank you, Truth Junkie, and we'll see what happens as things get better. I know I'm losing weight. I'm already down from 38s to 36s, and there's questions about going to 34s. So I'm definitely losing the weight. So we'll see where it goes when I'm sitting at around 200 pounds. And I left home. I'm sure I was right around 250 pounds. So I'll be in a better shape and getting more miles per day. And I can't wait to get up into the Rocky Mountain. We're going to be going 14. So we'll start over on 14 off of I-40, go through Steamboat, Walden, and then we go right down the Colorado Rockies on 14. There's a lot of great places there to stop. It's about an 86-mile jaunt. We'll be coming out at Ted's place right there just north of Fort Collins, Colorado. And then we'll shoot across 14 to Sterling, Colorado, grab 6, and then shoot across the lower side of Nebraska. So just above the Kansas border. And then we're going to work our way down in Illinois. We'll work our way down to where we can get to 40 through Effingham and so on. And we'll go right through the heart of Effingham, Illinois on 40. Then we'll go right through the heart of Indianapolis. I mean, literally downtown. Highway 40 goes right through the downtown stretch. And then we'll continue 40 east through Columbus, downtown Columbus, right through Columbus. That's where we expect to see a lot of movement. See a lot of movement going through those big cities and all of those sub-towns and cities along Highway 40, Fort Collins, Colorado, Sterling, Colorado. All of those cities, we expect to see a lot of growth and a lot of people coming. So
it'll be interesting to see what is welcoming you even when you get to Austin tomorrow,
What's interesting is we got people coming the other way giving me thumbs up and honks. And as Diego said earlier, how do they know?
That's exactly what I found interesting too. I mean, I said.
Yeah, so we're going to find out. We know that there's been people that have gone into Austin already. We stopped at Cold Spring Station back here a while back, and they go to Austin. And also, I met with the owners of the International Hotel, the owner of the International Hotel in Austin. He had come out to Cold Spring Station to have a beer. So nothing like driving across the desert to go get a beer. But I sat there and talked to him, and he's an interesting gentleman. I can't remember his name, but he's from Serbia. And then having the conversation with him, it's apparent right there what is going on in this country. when he is comparing it to what he left in Serbia decades ago. And so he's invited us to use his cafe at the International Hotel. But it also tells me that there's word of mouth going back and forth. And
Kind of like the
You,
Pony
you,
Express.
you need to go to that cafe. You need to have a longer conversation with them. I
No
found
doubt.
the people that truly understand, I mean truly understand, and I don't mean as a rule, but just as a general, are the ones that have gone through it, have seen the end result.
Yes, and they fled it. They were just done. So you're right, Diego. And when you're talking to people who have come here from another country, have created the American dream, and then they see the American dream under attack, they see it. They get it.
And that's why I was referring to that Atlas Shrugged book earlier, because that was written by, I think she came over from Russia, Ayn Rand. But yeah, and that's what that book is about. You know.
I like that truth junkie. I like that. We'll try and keep it within your time frame. I can't promise you anything, but we'll certainly try. So I got the cameras back in there set up.
Perfect.
So you're ready to rock. We are packing up house here. Not to say that they're looking to get me off of the panel right now, but they're packing up because, interesting enough, they've devised a method where the family can stay in the trailer rather than pitch and tent. It's amazing how bottles of water, when they're stacked, will take and receive an air mattress, no problem. So, thank you for the dinner tonight. That was awesome, man. Absolutely. Oh, I did. That marinara that marinade sauce. Dick Howard's. Don? Dick? Jordan. Primo. So, and then we have eggs from My Chickens for breakfast burritos tomorrow, and he's already cooked them up. So we had 2 18 packs and a 12 pack from My Chickens. That no store bought stuff there, man.
Right?
Yep. Bring your own eggs with you.
Right? And people kind of look at me sideways when I say, "Don't put that in the refrigerator. Don't put those in
What,
the
the eggs?
The eggs.
Yeah. Yeah, if you leave them out, as long as they ain't washed, they'll last a while.
Yeah, you don't
Is-
want to
is-
wash the bloom off of them. If you wash the bloom off of them, then you got to refrigerate them.
Yep.
And then
Yeah,
they're
no.
Mudpig, is that a new term for the party? BYOE?
Bring your own eggs.
Bring your own eggs. BYOE.
I told him that everybody's jealous that you get to eat his cooking before them.
I don't know. When I'm up home, all my eggs come from a local farmer as well. You actually got to wade through the chickens to get to the refrigerator to drop the money in the box.
Yes, you did.
No, because they were over there fixing their plate.
Yeah, but you still had tonight was your first meal by him.
Oh.
So.
Oh, yeah. My first meal tonight. That was cool. What was that? I'm sorry, my pig.
Oh, I said when I'm home, I get all my chickens from all my eggs from a local farmer too. I said you actually got to wade through the chickens to get to the refrigerator to drop the money in the box.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
That's cool. Yeah, well, if you don't rinse the bloom off, they're good for several months before they go back. So
yeah, and a lot of places you'll see them, like not in the U.S., but like a lot of places around the world, you go to the store and your eggs will just be sitting there on a shelf with everything else.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. So, I mean, the first time I went to London, I was surprised when I went into a restaurant and saw that the eggs were sitting out.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, in some places, milk comes in bags, not cartons.
And the milk comes in a box.
Yeah, that too.
in a weird box. But yeah, the sun is set. We've got a beautiful glow.
Oh yeah, that looks nice.
This is the kind of stuff we've got almost every day. Almost every day is like this out here. Right.
Yeah. That's incredible, though. You're out there in the middle of nowhere with a folding table, a Starlink satellite on the internet. Yeah.
Yeah. With some good friends and some good food. Sitting in the middle of nowhere. In the middle of the desert.
Seems like you got quite the team there now.
Yeah. And you know, I expect it's gonna grow. So
And you're not going to starve with Juniper around.
no, there's no way I'm gonna start with Juniper.
Yeah.
Or Texas for that matter. So I'm guessing that I think I saw a dozen or so burritos head to the refrigerator. So
Burrito.
breakfast burritos. You heard the story of the hamburger, the 5 pounds of hamburger that we're trying to figure out what to do with, right? So we put it in the refrigerator, and a day later it was starting to get that grayish tint to it. Like, this got to be cooked up. So, is Ron taking notes? Oh my God, I have a video. How can we do better? So, plus we got people taking lots of photos. Anyway, the hamburger had to be. So Mr. T, he cut it in half and he browned 2.5 pounds of the meat and put it in a Ziploc baggie and put it back in the refrigerator. And then made up patties for hamburgers and put them in the freezer. So we're good with that. Well, Juniper took the hamburger meat today after dinner, mixed it with leftover baked potatoes, and with eggs, and made up breakfast with cheese. And so we're gonna got the Lula, the tapatio. We got burritos on top of burritos.
Oh, I know Juniper would love to have some of my wife's salsa there right now.
You dirty rat. He says, "Oh, you dirty rat."
Sorry.
Well, that'll be good. Some good superfood for the beginning of your walk. Then that's great.
He makes it's fantastic. Yeah. So in any case, I think I'm going to call it 10 toes time. It means 10 toes up between the sleeping bags.
I'm getting there myself because
you're 3 hours ahead of me.
Winky's getting there.
I think he's already there.
Sun's down, man.
The sun went down.
Oh, man, that means your truck won't start. Your truck runs on solar power, don't it?
No, the truck will run all night long. The transmission will not go into gear once the sun goes down.
That's right. It's a solar powered transmission switch. That's right. So
it will not go into gear until I've had at least one of these.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got one of these.
Right.
So
question, Ron.
Testing this. What's that, Blinky?
Question.
Yeah.
Where do you go 10-100 out there in the middle of nowhere?
Nearest bush.
Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of 10-100s,
right out here.
Yeah, speaking of 10-100s, my sister got this cup for me.
That's 10-200.
That's 200. That's a 10-200. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, but it's on the same
Yeah,
line.
Yeah, she thought it was funny though. She's like, "Hey, I found you a truck for your or a cup for your truck."
Yeah, that's cool. Well, we're going to be doing a lot of adjustment work. The biggest problem I have out here is the portal. The portal is not friendly at all for doing the restreaming. So now Texas brought Lapierre mic so that we can try and increase the audio quality. I don't believe it works on web portals. So recognized by Prism. So that just goes back to what I was saying is that I need to find a way to interface into Restream. Oh, Mudpig, you may have the answer. You're using Labs.
Yeah.
Streamlabs. I have a Streamlab account.
Yep.
So I downloaded the app for Streamlabs.
And the app works with the DJI mic that I use, the external mic.
It'll work with this one, I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
But then we use Streamlab or Prism to go up to my Streamlab, right?
Mm-hmm.
To the cloud. And then from Streamlab Cloud to Diego.
Yeah, because like I told you when we talked, as long as Diego can pull in an RTMP feed, you can kick an RTMP feed from Streamlab right to Diego.
What about the stream? What about the chats, though?
Yeah, that'd be rough. But chat's rough to begin with. People will have to read your chat now, right?
Right. But there is one problem. How does Diego control panels to my stream?
Well, what you could do is instead of going live to your channel, you would use Streamlabs to kick him the RTMP. He could ingest it and put it into Restream.
So he's allowed 5 restreams. But so in other words, he would have to RTMP to my YouTube, and I've got 4 channels that I've been going to. So I've been going to YouTube, Facebook, Cloud Hub, and Rumble.
Yeah, because the Streamlabs would just keep your connection live. And then if he could bring in the RTMP, because you could do a custom RTMP. So if he could ingest it, and then he could do the distribution for you.
An RTMP is basically a routing protocol that uses an address to go directly, rather than getting an invitation that you have to go to.
Yeah, it's just a way of sending video from A to B.
Utilizing your username and password at the address and the key, which is the equivalent of a passcode, then you can get direct access without having to go through a username and password process. It's an addressing mechanism for video calls.
Yeah, it actually might be smoother though, because not to put Diego on the spot, but if he was running OBS or something, OBS could take an external RTMP in, and you could RTMP directly into his OBS.
Yeah,
and
like
then go from there. Yeah.
Go a VPN into his OBS system, like I've got at my house.
Yeah.
You've seen it. So,
FMCSA, OIDA, we're all, let's just talk acronyms the rest of the night, guys. I'm not a geek. Okay.
I'm not either, but when I started this live streaming thing, I jumped in with both feet and did a lot of research on how it all works.
I don't do research. I drive truck.
Yeah. We'll talk to you later there, MedPig, about that. We don't want to bore the other panel members with, what the heck is that ABC, XYZ, OBS?
I mean, I'm interested. It's just when you start throwing out all the acronyms or whatever you want to call them, I get lost. Okay.
Yeah.
I barely know what an HDMI is. Okay.
Yeah. Well, just so you know, Blinky, OBS is actually a name of a product.
I've
Yeah.
heard of OBS, but I couldn't tell you what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
And HDMI actually is an HTML.
HDMI. Get it right.
All right. So
Yeah, a lot.
Time.
you know,
Anyway.
Yeah, a
We
lot of
got
times I click on an HTML, I get TMI anyway. So
I understood all that. Okay.
Yeah, that was good. I'm gonna have to remember that one.
Yeah.
That was good. Well, we'll have to figure it out. Anyway, that my point is why I was raising it is it's a pain in the butt because it keeps crashing. I think I crashed a dozen times today.
yeah,
And
and that's why the Streamlabs with the redundancy, when we first talked about it, said it would be good, but makes the panel harder to do. Yeah.
Right. So we got to figure that out. I'd rather use an application instead of a web portal, which is what we've been doing. And it's the web portal that keeps crashing on us. If I can use Prism or Streamlabs.
Speaking of crashing,
I'd be a lot better off.
Up there he is. Yeah.
Hey, look. It's been real and it's been fun, but I don't know if it's been real fun.
Oh, I've had fun. But yeah, real quick, the Streamlabs is what allows me to do my 10, 12-hour continuous streams despite me not having service for the majority of, like, some of the parts of the trip, you know?
Right. Which we're getting out of the Restream with Diego. And Diego, you know, if I'm out of service, he can hold a panel across my streams.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's good. The problem is I keep crashing, and I don't have an interface that works well because I want to be able to turn my camera orientation around to show my face while I'm walking once in a while. But with this portal, I got to sit there and go.
Yeah, and see, using the Streamlabs app, if you have like an iPhone, you can swap wide angle, zoom, normal, front camera. You can do all that in the Streamlabs
with a single touch.
Yep.
Not doing that with Restream, I'm here to tell you. So, and with polarized glasses, all I see is a black screen. So I'd have to stop, take my glasses off, try to find the 6 different buttons to push to switch the camera view.
Mm-hmm.
Not working.
Yeah, so it really just depends on what Diego can bring in and get onto the panel as far as external video inputs, and I don't know what the options are with Restream. I'm not really familiar with it.
Yeah. Okay, man. Got you, man. When we start talking tech, we start losing people.
Oh yeah. I mean, we're both techies, so I mean, we both came out of the tech industry, so we'll go deep on it, and everyone else will just start snoring.
You're sneezing because I'm allergic to the tech.
You're allergic to the tech.
Well, that's okay, Pinky. When you come meet up with us, we'll get you all hooked up with all the tech you need.
Okay.
Couldn't hear him.
Now the chat's asking if we're using H.264 or 265.
I know what that is.
I know what that is too. Yeah.
I couldn't tell you what they're doing on the encryption side of what we're using. It's like, you know, when we were doing VoIP. Anyway,
You're good.
I'm good, they say.
I know
Yep.
what
Huh?
I know what BYOB means.
Well, I'm trying to see what he's saying here.
He says he knows what BYOB means.
No, I got that. You know, BYOB. But look at this world we're in today. You know, where you got the LOLs and the WTFs and the, you know, and everything else. Everything is acronym speak these days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
like back when I was working in IT, we had a lot of ID10T errors.
Yeah. IT errors.
ID10T. Yep.
IT Tensi. Yep.
Yep.
Anyway, Texas girl. They said they couldn't hear you.
I said, Blinky, when we come and meet up with you, we'll help you with your tech and get you all set up.
I'm sure.
Yep. I don't know. Blinky's been doing pretty good with Prism.
Yes.
Prism is not an easy one to get started on, bud. And you got that.
I got lucky with Prism. I really did. I had Burn and Mudpig all scream out my over 1,000 followers with this go live.
Yep.
So
Yeah, that was back in the day we were able to swing that. You know, we could get you 1,000 in an afternoon. You know.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go ahead and sign out because it's getting dark quick.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna.
Oh, dark city. So
Yeah, I think I'm actually going to do likewise because I wasn't planning on staying this long. I gotta get some miles in tomorrow.
Me neither. So I'm going to
reset tomorrow.
Get some rest,
I'm
guys.
gonna be like tomorrow, so I gotta do some wall stuff. But
shoot, this is my phone over here. What am I doing? I was ignoring my own phone.
That.
All right, guys.
Good night.
Good night. I'll see you.
Good night, y'all.
Good night, Greg.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Greg.
Bring it down. I have a box.
Good night, Phil.
Got all like the booklets and stuff. I didn't know if you wanted that in the boot put and you told me to hang on to that. Okay, I'll bring the tray down in a minute. All right. Hi, guys.
Hello. Hello. Well, Mudpig isn't really there. It's frozen. He's gone.
Frozen on the Mudpig side?
He just left, but I think his picture's frozen.
Yes.
How'd it go today?
All right. It's good. It's really fun. Got a lot
Mackenzie
done.
did great.
Collier did 2 miles today. He did amazing as well. 2.5 actually.
He did 5.
So.
And I did 2 meals.
And Juniper did 2 meals. So.
And everything's put away except for what I got to load tomorrow.
Good job, guys.
We still got to button the car up.
Yes. I still have a lot of stuff to put away. So. Okay, Diego. I think we're good.
Diego's hiding. I don't know where he went.
I don't know.
There he is.
I'm right here.
Haven't
I'm
been
just
on all
tired.
night.
Let me finish this and let's keep going there. Everybody, thank you very much for walking. Thank you very much for walking and watching. I'm telling you. Anyway, peace to all of you and later.